Holy biscuits. Are we gonna pretend that he's not here this week? Is that what's happening? I mean, I don't mind. I just need to
Everyone has to
know
have
what we're
their
about to
turn.
embark on.
Yeah. Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast, a show where we discuss tips, tricks and tools to help all Guardians succeed and enjoy playing more. What makes us different? Well, we're not streamers or YouTubers. We just have a passion for Destiny and are dedicated to keeping Guardians informed and up to date with all the latest Destiny 2 news, information and opinions. We encourage your questions and feedback, and you can contact us either by email, twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com, or on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. Now, on with the show.
Video because it was
You two.
It blew my mind.
Every week, there's like we deviate from the plan. There's a plan.
What are you talking about? People need to know that. Okay.
I just got here and we started talking about it, so that's where we're going.
I know, but I thought he was going to talk about your bygones, and then he suddenly diverted onto the counterbalance mods, which is
because
in the tips and
that's what I was talking about.
Is
the counterbalance for his bygones.
But now I've got to move. To move this part of the conversation, cut it, edit it, and put it down there. You
don't have to. Just say, hey, by the way, this video's at the end. Boom, done. Game over.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
this week it doesn't work like that. Last week
stop
it worked
trying
like
to be organized, dude. This is not the place to be organized.
Not with you two.
All right, here we go. Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, carried by the host with the most, Night Demon, joined by the greatest member of our fire team, Parody, and
it's me. I'm the no one respawns guy. I'm the guy that's like, I'm here, but I'm not really here. They like to ignore me and bleep me out and say that I said things that I didn't say. And honestly, they're bullies. They're two titans picking on this innocent little hunter, and I don't know what to do.
And now on with the show.
So shall we kick off the podcast officially? And thank you very much, Respawn, for the lovely introductions this week.
I didn't know. No,
he's done
gonna do that nonsense about that whole thing that he put. No.
You've done introductions this week.
No, that's not a thing.
Okay, see, the ball is all in your court. You could either do an introduction and make him not use that, or what's going to happen, and then you refusing to do an introduction. It's just you being party to him doing whatever he's going to do. So it's really up to you, buddy. It's all on you.
I don't know.
The ball is in your court.
No.
It's a spare race with motivation.
Fair enough.
Just remember.
So shall we move straight in with the Returning to the Moon developer insight video that was released this week?
Stop. I can hear you smiling. Quit it.
The moon's haunted. That's all you need to know. Moon's haunted.
So I'm guessing that you guys watched this, didn't you?
Yes.
Yes. Parody?
I neglectfully did not. Was this the one they showed before, or is this a brand new one they put out?
This is the one they put out.
It's like an extended
just
one.
before the TWAB went live.
Okay. Yeah, no, I hadn't watched the one this week yet.
Got some titty bitties.
Well, we have some titty bitties, some tidbits for you.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we have something. We're not sure what it is. We have something.
This thing. We haven't even started, and we've already freaking failed. Love it.
No, we haven't failed. Not yet.
Not yet.
Frozen Made and a Frozen podcast, all the same thing. Starts out great. We have a plan, and it just falls apart like the moment we get started.
Right.
No.
All right. What are we talking about? Let's go.
The Bungie developers have released a video or a VIDOC discussing the iconic lunar location, which includes new changes and twists within the destination, which has grown to twice the size of its original of Destiny 1 for the upcoming DLC Shadowkeep. So some points that I've picked out of the video is that we've got new locations that weren't in D1. They show some cinematics with Eris Morn and a couple of storyboard breakdowns. There's some floating bodies above the Hellmouth, which is really interesting. There's a crashed fallen ketch on the surface that was once in the moon's orbit for the Tanic strike in Destiny 1. We have lost sectors in locations that were previously unopened in the buildings in Destiny 1. And we've got new exotic machine gun that was shown in gameplay in the video, but it was previewed at Guardian Con. That's the one that you were talking about, Parody, with the bug in it.
That's the Defiance crossover gun.
And there is a Jotun Sparrow and a Fighting Lion Sparrow, which are confirmed in the video.
Yup.
Have you guys got anything to say? Oh, no, Parody hasn't got anything. Respawn. So what did you make of this video?
I think my favorite part about the whole video falls into two categories. Number one, they still have pre-existing construction that we had in D1, like some of the buildings that were in D1, they brought over it to D2, which I'm a huge fan of, because I was afraid that we'd go back to the moon that we've already been to and everything would be different. So technically going like to a different part of the moon or whatever, you know, wasn't a big fan of that. But to see the same spaces that we had before, big fan. And one of them, at least one of them, has actually been turned into a lost sector. So again, well done. The other thing I'm super excited about is when they did the comparisons between the lighting in D1 and the lighting now. So much better. Oh my God. They made the ambiance so much better. Like you're actually crawling through the moon and it does seem like it's haunted, right? And I'm a big fan of that. But the thing that I'm not really excited about is the part with the castle. Don't get me wrong. Castle on the moon, really cool. But the fact that we didn't see it in D1 kind of is a little stupid, right? Because it's like a 400-foot freaking spire that we haven't seen from Earth. Really, the Hive were just
it's on the dark side of the moon,
right? It has to be, right? Because they're all like, we didn't know that the Hive were there, but they were there for hundreds of years, digging holes and doing all this other stuff before they were getting.
We were discussing this before we went live, weren't we? That it might have been it's something that a construction that was below the surface that broke through after the Hive, took over the moon.
And if that's the case, that's even worse because it's like how does a castle come up from underground, right? Whoever that architect is, I want his number. I don't care if he's Hive. Build my house, dude. Right? Come on.
Or they could have constructed it while we were off around the rest of the solar system doing other things.
Okay,
we work the Hive construction crews. They are very efficient.
If that is true, right? You would have to say that we just ignored this construction. How long would you think it would take to build a castle that big without construction equipment?
It depends, doesn't it? I mean, you look at the pyramids in Egypt.
Depends how many Hive wizards you have.
Yeah. They have space magic.
They have magic, right?
Plus, I mean, we were distracted for quite some time with our city being blown up and Gaul coming, and then we had Leviathan turning up, and then we had to go over here and do this thing in the Dreaming City, and then we had to go over there and do that thing over there. So we've been distracted for quite some time.
Yeah, we had to run over here and shoot the lads, and then run over there.
We're talking about construction that would have taken tens of years.
No, but I think you're thinking in man hours for people that go, oh, look, it's 10:10. We need to go and have a tea break. No, this is space magic.
No
this
break
is
for
Hive.
Say a tea break.
The Thrall are very effective builders, okay?
Yeah.
All right, that's fair. But yeah, I guess I am thinking in terms of people not working 24/7 or not utilizing slave labor. Okay, that's fair.
I mean, and did
other than that, I am really
construction. Do the Taken have a good union? Were they forcing the labor? You never know.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But I do really like the changes that they've made to the moon. Aside from the giant spire that just appeared, big fan of the ambiance. Big fan of it looking like it is quote unquote haunted. I'm in love. I can't wait to get there.
Do you think that those floating bodies that are around the Hellmouth are all the Thrall that we killed whilst diving into the Crota raid?
No, because
it's all just kind of floated up.
No, because they did a couple of zoom ins, right? And it actually looks like witches. It doesn't look like Hive. It looks like witches from oh god, what's the area? The Techian witches, right? That's what they look like. A bunch of witches / Aaron Morn looking freaking things up in the sky. They look human, not Hive.
Okay. For all you who play Destiny, that's Eris Morn. Aaron is her brother, who is not appearing in this game.
Did I say Aaron? Oh,
sure did.
I mean,
just keep shooting with your just shoot Aaron with your Strum, and you'll be fine.
So, for those people that don't know who Eris Morn is, she was an NPC in Destiny 1 who triggered our raid for Crota, the Dark Below. And then she stuck around the tower for the rest of D1 and helped us do other things, like with the Oryx raid. She was a big part of that, and sword quests. And so she disappeared at the beginning of Destiny 2, where her NPC stand was underneath the stairs next to the Vanguard. And I think there's a fleeting reference if you run past it in the opening mission that, you know, she's made a runner for it. And this is her story continued, that we now catch up with her and find out where she went and what she was doing.
And check this out. What I don't understand is I was under the impression that because of Ahamkara bone, she could not see with human eyes anymore. You know, she was blind and her ghost was taken when she was in the right, and she had an Ahamkara bone with her, and she wished to know the way out, and therefore she got sight beyond sight. I guess now that we're talking about Thundercats, right? Sight beyond sight. Anyway, throw back to my.
When
age,
were
I
we
guess.
talking about Thundercats?
Sight beyond sight. If like he can
Okay.
look through his sword and he can see things that he's not supposed to, whatever. So anyway, so she's not supposed to be able to see with eyeballs, right? Even though she's got 3 of them, she doesn't like see through them or whatever. But in the trailer, when the wall starts to break down and the light shines through, she holds her hand up in front of her face like she's shielding her eyes. And I don't get that, because she's not supposed to be able to see with those things, as far as I understand, unless I just misread the lore.
You probably misread the lore.
Maybe she's making sure the gravel doesn't fall on her face.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to get hit in the head with a rock.
I guess.
I want that. I want to use my toaster. I want to ride a toaster. I'm all for this Jotun Sparrow.
You know, Destiny Fun Police is going to be rocking his Fighting Lion Sparrow everywhere and anywhere.
Oh, absolutely.
I still didn't see the Fighting Lion Sparrow. People keep talking about that. I saw the Jotun. I didn't see the Fighting Lion.
The Jotun is first, and
Yeah,
the Fighting Lion is just behind in the
Yeah.
flames. You can just see the shiny head of the lion.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's really not a good shot of it at all. I'm sitting here. I've been sitting here watching the videos we've been talking. Yeah, like you can just sort of see it as they come around this bend on the moon.
Oh, I do see it.
here's the
Wow,
Jotun.
that is ostentatious as hell. They're not even remotely shy about that lion head.
Nope. It's
What?
real fancy.
It is super fancy. Okay,
Yeah.
I found a picture
is
of it
awesome.
where they caught it and increased the size. That is super duper fancy.
Okay, let's move on then.
Yeah.
This week at Bungie, we make way for the Iron Lord. We have begun to see shadows lurking about this season. Many of you have been diligently knocking out every challenge and triumph for the Season of Opulence. Most of us still have a good backlog of triumphs to complete and items to collect. Someone pointed out that this was the first week of Season of Opulence in which there wasn't something new to do. Consider this week a chance for you to catch your breath. If you're already looking for more challenges, Solstice of Heroes will heap more of them on your plate. You'll find more details of the upcoming event next week. So this week, we have Iron Banner returning. Everyone's
We
favourite.
do. And we're saying nothing about it,
You
including
say
what guns we're going to have
everything's
available.
favorite.
Everyone loves Iron Banner.
I've tried to do the Iron Banner the last few times it's come around,
Okay.
but to me it's
Yeah.
lost its luster.
Hear me out.
I don't find it as exciting as it used to be.
Grab your Rat King, put on your Aeon whatevers. We're going to run around as Rat King cultists. It's going to be great. We're going to have
If we
6
did
people
that,
doing
that
it.
would be so fun. I would.
It's
100%
going to be
do
tremendous.
that.
We will pick a day to do this. It will be awesome.
Yeah, see, you know what else I think it is? Being honest, right? So, you guys have played with me. You know when I play Crucible, I do really, really, really well. But
And get really tilted really quickly. Yes.
yes, but
Yes.
my stats on Destiny reflect something else. I never go negative. I haven't gone negative, and I don't even know how long. But yet my KD on Destiny, when you look at my KD, is less than 1. It's like 0.89 or point something, right? And I don't because I never think I do bad. You know, I'm always chilling at the top of the leaderboard, right? Almost in every game. But because I just that's
Anyway,
one thing that I've
so-
always been like happy about, and then come to
Iron
find
Banner
out
returns,
it's not
and
something worth being happy about.
we're going to
Now
let
I'm
the wolves
upset.
howl again. Saladin will raise his banner next week when he returns to the tower on July 23rd. We're going to ignore what Respawn's saying.
But are they just not going to tell us what weapons are available this time around? Like,
No,
did
they
No,
didn't tell us anything.
He doesn't want to tell you that. He also didn't want to really hint the fact that Lord of Wolves wasn't fixed, and I'm sure they said by the next time Iron Banner rolls around, it'll be fixed. So you have to play in last Iron Banner to get the emblem. But guess what?
Yep.
You can play in this week's Iron Banner and still be allowed to get the emblem for fighting against the Lord of Wolves. Hopefully, they say it's going to be patched, I think, on the 30th of July, which is the week after.
I think I've been killed by one of those, so I'm getting it.
So, Iron Banner and Increased Valor starts at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on July 23rd and ends at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on July 30th. So, it's basically normal reset time for your region.
Which is, 1 p.m. Eastern, which is the only time we need to know.
Exactly. And 6 p.m. UK time.
1 p.m. Eastern, which is the only time we need to know.
Nope.
and Wednesday to Wednesday in Australia.
Right.
And on the moon, it's well, no one's playing Destiny on the moon, so who cares?
I wonder if there is time zones on the moon, because we've created time zones because of how the Earth rotates, right? Do you think anybody's actually bothered to make a time zone for
Just the witches. The Hive have their own time. They run on Hive Standard Time.
Hive Standard Time? They don't count in minutes, days, or years. They count in millennia, apparently.
They count them. They count by the number of thrall they've lost each. What we consider an hour. Basically, thrall lost per hour. That's like one standard Hive hour.
So something
is
that I
this?
found out not too long ago is, the real big guys like Oryx and all these bosses that we fight, they started off as thrall. Did you know that? Yeah.
You
we
have to
knew
climb. You have to climb the ladder. You have to start at the bottom and work your way up.
Yeah, but I always thought that they were just born that way. This guy happened to have been born in whatever species.
No.
Yeah, no,
he just killed all the competition.
Evolved. They're
And if I
freaking
could have at that
Pokemon,
point, I would have inserted Lady Gaga.
right?
But I can't.
But yeah, they're evil Pokemon. They evolve. They go. What the hell?
I like it. Yeah. So now was this also our solar week? Because I know.
No.
Okay, because I know they had hinted that Saladin was bringing Solar Week with him, but I couldn't remember if it was this week
No, that was in the data mine stuff that we were talking about. I think
that's
last
right.
week.
Wow.
That's right.
They say that this would be the last Iron Banner before they deploy an update to the Lord of Wolves. Plus, they're going to give us details on the next one before it starts up. So maybe this is a possibility that the Solar Week comes on the next one in August, and it'll tie in with the Solstice of Heroes, which is then coming on the 30th of July. So we'll have that Solar Week in the middle of the Solstice of Heroes, Iron Banner, because there'll be so much to do.
I mean, really, Bungie missed a perfect opportunity for Solar Week as we're all sitting here sweltering across the globe right now. This is we're having a real world Solar Week. So this is the unofficial Solar Week as we're all looking at these ridiculous temperatures.
Well, you say that you've got the ridiculous
Solar
temperatures
Week
at the
IRL.
moment, which will be slowly moving their way over to the UK and Europe soon.
Right. And you'll get to enjoy them then. That's the joy of sharing.
One thing that I don't complain about anymore is actually how hot it is, because when I was deployed in Fallujah, the heat index, now keep in mind this is how hot it feels, not how hot it is. The heat index was 160 Fahrenheit. And after sitting in that for 9 months, I've never complained about the heat since, because I know other places have it way worse than I do. Just wanted to say that. I'm done.
Oh, good. So in the TWAB, they also say that the competitive event will allow you to advance your Iron Banner quest steps. So if you didn't finish them from the last Iron Banner, you can progress them again this week coming up. And if you missed out on the first Iron Banner, it's your chance to kick off the quest and earn that singular gear. They did get some feedback on the quest from last time that people wanted some changes, but they didn't make them in time for this Iron Banner. So it may just be that they're hinting that they're changing the next Iron Banner to progress the quest faster, or like we've said, it could be that as well as Solar Week, possibly. Or maybe, with these leaks, you never know what's actually coming, do you?
Well, you say that, but we
Just know
got
it's in the game.
we got like
somewhere.
an 80%, rate going for us that what we found to be leaked has pretty much come true. Not perfect, but I mean, we're up there.
But they do say
I mean,
this
it's
will
in
be
the game
last
somewhere, but
Yeah. They do say that this is the last Iron Banner before they deploy the update to Lord of Wolves. Possibly. You never know. You know what they say? They write these things down, they say it's going to be fixed, and then bug. But, take it with a pinch of salt at the moment.
It needs to be the last Iron Banner before they change how Iron Banner works. We could be doing so much more with Iron Banner than what we're currently doing. Because, I mean, whatever. I'm not getting into it now.
Do you want your Iron Burden back in your Wolf's favor?
No.
I mean, the Iron Banner is like one of the few parts of the game they actually do experiment with and actually do play around with. Like Crucible,
and that's what I missed though.
Strikes
when was the
don't
last
change.
time they did something like really good in the Iron Banner as an experiment?
Well, I mean,
the Iron Burden.
Yeah,
not the Iron Bird. I'm talking about like
the entire
infinite
event.
supers, or everybody moves faster, or everybody moves slower, or this weapon does tons of extra damage.
The Go Fast update we have.
What you've just said is Lord of Wolves has just destroyed everybody in the last Iron Banner. So that's your weapon check. There you go.
But that was a glitch. That was not intended. They didn't mean to do that, and that's not just Iron Banner. That's
you
that's
say
the
they
thing
didn't
everywhere.
mean to do it. They knew that that's what would happen when they changed the weapon, and yet they still allowed Iron Banner to carry on. They cancelled trials because of certain things before. So and Iron Banner at one point. I remember in Destiny 1, wasn't it? They cancelled Iron Banner for that week and moved it along for the next week because of a bug with the weapon, broken. Wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So they've done that with the weapons. The infinite supers, the moving fast, when we had the Revelry event. So you've had that.
Yeah, the Go Fast update was March.
I'm not saying
March of last year.
That's where I'm getting the examples from. But what I'm saying is, how long has it been since we've had an intentional experiment in the Iron Banner?
You never know whether it's intentional or not.
Well, I mean,
this new quest that they've put together.
They wouldn't have called it a bug if it was intentional.
I mean, literally, the Iron Burden, in the favor, that was an intentional change to the Iron Banner. This quest thing, everything they've done, they've changed some part of it around.
Yeah,
I'd be happy if we could stop playing control every single time.
That's not something that's fun.
Well,
I want
maybe
something
not to you,
that's
but
crazy.
it's
like low gravity or never-ending supers or whatever. Fill in the freaking blank. Make it fun.
Yeah, but no, I think you're missing the point.
Did you not play a week of Mayhem? You had Mayhem with infinite supers. Did you not play Mayhem? Mayhem is delicious.
How long ago was that, though?
2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, for the Iron Burden. Or for that Iron Burden. Damn
you mean
Iron Banner. Yes.
We had Iron Banner Mayhem.
Yeah, but how long ago was that?
That was a long time ago, yeah. But they try and change it up every time.
They do. And because of Iron Banner Mayhem, now we have Mayhem Crucible on a rotation, right? I want another game-changing event like that.
And Supremacy reared its ugly head this week. When was the last time Supremacy was up? Now, I'm not saying I love Supremacy, but just having it available was sort of a nice change. I played a couple rounds of that just because it felt sort of new.
Reminds me, what's that? Is that the bomb thing? What's Supremacy?
Yeah, shoot people. They drop an engram. You pick it up from them and try to keep yours from them.
I missed that. They have that?
Yeah, it's here this week. I can tell you look at that Crucible list often. Yeah, and no, but the other one, the Rift, was it called Rift? I keep thinking of calling it. Yeah, Rift, where it was actually you escort your runner to the enemy Rift, which is sort of like Breakthrough. But
that's a fun one too.
Like that, that they just took away and haven't come back at all. I would love to see that come back.
Yeah,
because that was a lot of fun. And just a different way to change things. Which again, they mentioned Crucible Labs a couple weeks ago, and then it went away again. So I think Iron Banner
is coming.
I think Iron Banner is basically our Crucible Labs at this point. I mean, realistically, that's sort of their sandbox to play around with.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do a little sandboxing ourselves, right? Something that has yet to happen that we haven't seen in Destiny. If you could do something inside Crucible, what would you do? What would you change just for like a week?
Particular weapon only playlists, or melees and grenades only, like a no gun playlist. Just something. Basically, I want to look at action sacks, the Halo's playlist where we got Griffball and all the ridiculous stuff from. Say you have to run in with a bow. Nothing else does damage. You have to run in with a hand cannon. or you have to use like, or even a particular weapon. Yeah, either a particular weapon or a particular weapon class, and say you have to run with this. You know, you load into the game, everybody's given a Jotun, and you run around and toast each other with a Jotun.
Nice.
You know, you run with the game. You know, if you make a particular weapon, you have to. I just say give everybody that weapon when they load in. So if you pick an exotic, say we're going to have a sword only playlist.
Oh,
everybody
that's a good call.
Sword.
Yeah,
and then you give.
They don't have to have it. You give it to them. Good.
Right. Yeah.
Call.
And then just say, because I was like, because otherwise, you might not have a Jotun, you might have a La Monarch, you might not have a Wish Ender, whatever it is. And just say, okay, you load into this, whatever this, we'll call it the Rat King only playlist. You load into your Rat King only playlist. You load in, they give you a Rat King. It runs either with or without the Calus, so everyone is on the exact same playing field using the exact same weapon.
And that way, it's just
work,
skill
grenades
based.
don't work.
Right?
There's no supers. It's just you have to do damage with this one particular weapon. Nothing else matters.
That's a good idea. That's a very good idea. I was just gonna do something with gravity, like put the gravity on really high so you can barely jump and you have to stay on the ground, or put it really low so you can jump like you're on the moon and make yourself a target for everybody that can see you. Right, but yeah, that's good.
So,
I like
what you're saying is you want to see Moonbound Crucible, where there's a very low gravity and you have to melee your opponent, and there are no ranged attacks at all.
That would be kind of fun, but not if you're fighting against Titans. I already know where you're going. Shut up.
No shoulder charges, because you're all in low gravity. No shoulder charging. You're in the air. You're bouncing around. Momentum. Yeah. There's no gravity because you can't be on the ground. You hit the ground, you're going to bounce back up in the air again. You can't.
Oh,
run on the ground.
What?
It's like low.
Yes.
It's like low.
Yes.
It's all momentum. You come down and hit the ground, you bounce back into the air. So you can never get ahead of steam up. You just have to get close enough to whack somebody.
I like it. Or too much gravity. Just something that changes how you move. Just I don't know, whatever. But yes, that's the kind of thing. What you said was phenomenal. I didn't even go along those lines. That's a great idea. Start up a playlist and just give them the weapon. And at that point in time, it's just skill based, right? So everybody has a Rat King. Who's going to run as a group? Who's going to try to solo it, right?
So, would you like to take our next section, Respawn? Do you want to have a rant? Do I have to put the music in?
Let me see the next section, because I had kind of a rant in mind for this week. Oh yeah.
We don't have to. We could just read through it.
What section are we on?
Because we are kind of to blame for this. We are kind of to blame for this because we did highlight this last week. So a guardian always pays their debts.
Okay. Guardians paying homage to their previous adventures and some rewards from some tribute hall. Oh. Okay. Yes, this was actually going to be kind of my rant. So we're along the same lines here. Okay, great. Yeah. So
cue the music.
So I guess my rant this week is kind of how long it takes to do these tributes, right? Yes, some people did the cheese, and now those people that did the cheese are paying for it. I don't think that that's fair, because so many people have used so many cheeses and have not been punished for it. Now, you had hackers that straight up got punished. What?
Before you get into your rant, explain to people what's happening. What have Bungie said?
Okay, that's fair. So, there was a cheese / exploit in the game where you can get all of your banners placed by just placing the one banner. What you had to do, it's pretty convoluted.
Tributes.
Yeah, sorry, tribute. Well, I mean, you place them, and to me, it's like you're placing a banner, you're placing a flag, you're placing a statue, whatever. So yes, you're placing a tribute.
In the tribute hall.
So what you could do in the tribute hall, and if I'm not mistaken, right, I don't remember the whole thing because I couldn't do it, so I didn't watch the whole video. But I think it's, you get the tribute on one character, but you don't place it. You swap to another character, and then that character can place it, but that character doesn't burn the tribute. They still have it, so they can place it again and again and again and again and again, et cetera, et cetera. And you got your weapon, you got your catalyst, and you got the emote, if I'm not mistaken, right? You got all three of those by doing the same thing. Well, Bungie's caught on to this, and what they're doing now is people that haven't legitimately placed their tributes, because there's a list of what tributes you have to complete to place a tribute. So if you haven't checked those boxes, they're only going to give you credit for the tributes that you've actually completed and placed. They're not going to give you credit for that one tribute that you placed over and over and over again. So those that have the bad juju will get it stripped away from them.
Not the bad juju. They're not taking the gun away. They're just taking the extras away.
I heard it was the gun too. Are you sure?
It says in the TWAB, it says in the TWAB they're taking the catalyst away and the emote, but they're not taking the gun away. And they'll give you
Okay.
back the catalyst emote once you legitimately place the number of tributes for those items.
Within the next, how many weeks do we have left? 2 weeks?
Yeah, they say
think-
that they'll be fixing the glitch on July 30th when they kick off Solstice of Heroes. And as they say, it's not their policy to punish players who discover cheeses, loot caves, or workarounds in the game. But if you took advantage of the shortcut, you can rest easy. They're not going to march you in front of Calus for a sentence. However, you will not be able to keep your ill-gotten rewards until you square up things with Calus. So the tribute placed total will not accurately reflect the individual tributes placed on your account. If you use the exploit, the number of the update will properly reflect the total number of tributes that you've placed. The activation of equipment, both for the Bad Juju Catalyst and the X marks the spot emote, are also gated by your total number of tributes placed. Bad Juju will not require you to have 18 tributes placed for it to be used. So if you cheese your way to the Catalyst or emote, you do have some time to actually place them legitimately before July 30th. So they're only going to stop you from using the Catalyst and the X marks the spot exotic emote, which will then be available for you once you've actually done those tributes. I know you're just about to go into a rant, and I'm going to add something to the rant for you to discuss as well, which was pointed out by Andy from the clan. He's got to have to go and do raids to go and do some of these tributes, which he doesn't think is fair. You know, he's not a raider as such, but he needs to have done some raids to actually get to the maximum amount of tributes that he can place.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because even the things that you can buy, they run out eventually. You can't, as far as I can tell, you can't get, if you had unlimited shards and unlimited currency, I don't think that you can get all of the tributes.
Isn't it 6 things that you can buy from each tribute? I think there's 6.
So.
I think there's 6 tributes that you can start to purchase. It says 1 of 5 or 2 of 5, how many you've purchased. And then once you get to the 5th one, it then gives you something else. Because I think I bought the first lot. With
No. Those, once you get 5 of 5, those are gone. What you have left
but
after
then at
that
the
is
end,
the one that you have to use shards and glimmer for. I don't know how many of those you have.
Once you got to the 5 of 5, it then gave me the option of then buying the Scorch Cannon, which was another one to buy. And then that square disappeared from selection. So then I've only got like 5 items, 5 of those things that I can then collect. But I can see his point. You know, why should he be forced into going into raids? And I know some of the things are retroactive.
They are.
But I see his point that...
No, not all of the things. Okay, yeah. Some of them are retroactive. But you have to have done a raid or menagerie to get weapons and or armor to go into the raids now and do the raids with those to get those tributes, because that's very specific. Now, as far as the rant goes, I don't dislike the fact that you have to do a raid, because I'll be honest with you, it's taken me less time to do my raid tributes than it has taken me to do my Gambit tribute, right? Because whenever I was doing the raids, I was getting, for the Leviathan, I got 38%, for everything that I cleared when I was wearing the armor. So that went by really fast. I just did the first part of the Last Wish raid, and I got 15% right there. So that is going by quick. But the Gambit, I was getting, if I won, 7%. If I lost, 3.5%. And that was just chugging along. I didn't feel like you could, no matter how good you did, they only counted wins and losses. That's it. So you got 7% or you got 3.5%. That I didn't like. I enjoy Gambit. I do. But I think the way that they did that in Gambit was bad. They should have given you more in Gambit, just like they were giving you in the raids. And I know...
But you say that, but you are kind of trying to rush through and place these tributes. This is an event that's meant to have taken place over like the next 2 months, July and August. You're not meant to have got through it in the first couple of weeks of July and then have nothing to do for Solstice apart from just the Solstice stuff.
I know what you're not meant to do, but even
you want to.
I want to utilize the gun. I have it on me all the time. I want it to be able to drop orbs for me and my friends. That's all I want. And the fact that it's taking this long to get that, it should not have been 45. You get the gun at 18. You got to wait till 45 to get the catalyst? That's insane. Come on. That's too damn much. 36. I could have seen 36, right? You got it at 18. Double that, you get the catalyst. Boom, done. But 45? Get the hell out of here, man. That's way too much just for a catalyst. Which, by the way, after you get the catalyst, you still have to activate said catalyst by doing whatever. I think you have to kill things. That's it, right? So it's not a hard catalyst, but you still have to do it after you've put down 45 tributes. That's crazy. That should not be a thing.
So that being said, is the catalyst worth it? What does the catalyst do?
The catalyst,
yeah, sorry, it extends your duration of string of curses,
yes, and that's it.
Giving you more grace time to get another kill,
and that's it.
So is it worth chucking through this to get the catalyst? Because there are a couple of things like the Outbreak Prime catalyst, or Outbreak Perfected catalyst, I don't have, and I haven't run it more than the one time to get the gun because I didn't think it was worth it to get the catalyst for it.
That just depends on your point of view. I think it's worth it because the more time you get on the string of curses is good. But more than the string of curses, I think it's worth it just so you can get or drop orbs. Just that alone is enough reason to have the catalyst. You know?
Yeah, that's the sole reason. That's the whole reason I want the Telesto catalyst.
Exactly.
Just for the orb generation.
Exactly.
I think.
Yeah, good point.
I think, to be honest, with the tribute hall, this isn't something that's just going to go away in September when Shadowkeep drops. I think this is something that's going to be quite persistent, because if they put a catalyst in that area and that is the only way that you can get a catalyst from it, then ultimately when we reach like a 900 power level, you then be able to go back and do those older raids.
I don't think it's going to count.
I don't
think it's going to count. I think it's going to be time gated. I mean, they gave us a time gate for a reason, right?
Unless
you can't just think it's going to stick around after that.
I don't think they will, because
like the faction rally catalyst, those were going out of the game for quite a while till they just recently put them back in. I mean,
but we were warned about that. We were told at the time that you could only get the catalyst at the time for that specific thing, and once it's gone, and there'll only be those faction rallies, but you can only get them from faction rallies.
Oh, speaking of getting things,
they could turn around.
Hold up, since I'm already in a rant. Listen, Bungie developers, give me a bow catalyst. I don't care which one. Anyone.
Don't do it to me.
Anyway, I can't believe that the bows have been
Bungie
around
developers
since...
don't listen to you.
Yeah, I know, but still, I can't believe we've had bows since the beginning of Forsaken? ?
I've had letters from Bungie developers saying, "Can we just mute him?"
No, and I can't believe we've gotten catalysts for all things. We've gotten catalysts for new things, but we still don't have catalysts for even a single bow. That's
because they are unworthy guns. They don't need catalysts.
Listen, dude.
The bow is not worthy.
You've just been turned into a monkey, my friend. Can you calm your monkeyness down?
Sorry, but I want to play with my bows, man. Come on.
Do that in your own time.
I'm trying, but I need a catalyst to make it work.
You don't need a catalyst.
I need a catalyst.
No, you don't. You just take your wish ender into Gambit and kill people.
Not even the wish ender. Just think about if you had a catalyst for the Trinity Cool. Just think about how many orbs you can drop. Boom. Right? Even Lamanar. I mean, I didn't. Yeah, no, you're killing So anyway, continuing on with the rant, I don't know how, actually I do know how we got sidetracked. That's also my fault. Shut up. But it should not take this many to get the catalyst. And if it does take this many to get the catalyst, it should already be done. We shouldn't have to do more stuff on top of that. And there's just too many triumphs, I think, in my opinion. And especially how you have to do some of these, it's a little convoluted. Hey, complete a raid. Boom, done. hey, do so many Gambit rounds, done. Do so many Crucible rounds, done. Do this while wearing this that you have to get from a raid. That, I think, if that's what Andy's talking about, I can totally get behind that, because you have to do a raid to get the gear to wear to get credit for doing the raid with the gear that you have to wear.
Yeah, I mean,
So-
I agree with you. Maybe there could have been just one tribute for doing a raid. So you could have done any one of the raids and you get the tribute. Why is there not a tribute for doing the menagerie? Doing the menagerie heroic, maybe. Doing escalation protocol. Doing a blind well tier 4. Those things,
Yeah.
I think, would have made it a little bit easier for everybody to get these tributes.
And not just that, they're cutting people, right? Because I was playing with a guy last night when I was doing what raid did I do last night? I can't remember. The first one, Leviathan. So I was with like a 355. I'm like, what the hell are you doing? He goes, I never bought. I'm not about to drop $40 on Forsaken. Right. So because of that, he can't
Was that why
even
that
get.
dude was level 30?
Yeah, he can't even get
Sorry.
all of the tributes because you have to have it for some of these raids that they require you to have to get these tributes. So that guy who doesn't have Forsaken, he can't even get all the tributes.
So he shouldn't even bother to work on it.
Well, no, he was just doing the raid because he was doing the raid, right? He was just the guy that was doing the raid. But for all those people that couldn't afford it or don't want it or whatever, now they can't get the freaking Catalyst ever. I think. I don't know if you count up all the triumphs, can they still? I haven't done the math, so maybe you can. If you can, forgive me.
You don't buy the content, you don't get the rewards in the content. That's life. Again, I'm trying to look for the breakdown of their, the Season of Opulence. So yeah, so Truth, Lumina, Menagerie, Iron Banner Quest. So the Tribute Hall and Moments of Triumph, that's all Season of Opulence, which is all annual pass. So if you don't own the annual pass, you have no Tribute Hall, you have no Moments of Triumph to even get, you have no Bad Juju, you have none of that. Menagerie, Crown of Sorrow, none of that you have access to. Solstice of Heroes, none of that you'll have access to. So he can't do any of it because he doesn't have access to any of it.
I mean, like we were saying, it doesn't make any sense why you've got to do all those different raids. Just put one raid tribute. You've got the Reckoning, you've got Gambit Prime.
I don't mind about all the different raids. I really
no, again, but I know
I don't
you
mind
don't,
doing raids.
I'm
Right.
arguing on the point from Andy's point of view is why does he have to do all of those raid things when he's not a specific raider?
Yeah.
He plays the game. He's probably done Reckoning Tier 3. He's probably done Blind Well Tier 4. He's probably done Escalation Protocol.
But on the bright side,
Wave
if you think
7.
about it, right, you don't have to do the whole raid, right?
No.
Yeah, it just says you get credit. You get credit based on whatever part you've passed on the raid.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So either way, you're going to have to do one full raid. Again, whether you do the first part 5 times or whatever, you still have to do the entire raid worth of content more than once to get these done. So it's not like you can just jump into a raid, finish it once and be done with it, never touch it again. You have to go in, at least back it again a second time to do some part of it. Yeah. Or do the first part over and over and over and go back to orbit, whatever. But yeah, it's still a long grind for a Catalyst that may or may not be worth it.
Yeah, and I've been dedicating a lot of time to doing this legitimately, and I still only have 41. I'm still 4 short. It does take a long, long time.
Last week when we left the podcast, I said I was going to go off and do a Crown of Sorrow raid. I managed to do 2 clears this week, one with my Warlock and one with my Titan, and that completed that triumph for me. Again, I was wearing full armor sets for both, maybe just one exotic and the weapons. And yeah, that cleared the Crown of Sorrow part for me, and it also did quite a big chunk on doing the Calus themed raid triumph as well. And then I joined another group that just farmed the beginning part of the Leviathan, where they just opened the doors on the heroic version because they were looking to get the catalyst for the accurate. I can't even. For the accurate
shotgun.
That's the word.
Okay.
Yeah,
the accurate shotgun.
Worlds. Yeah.
So we were doing opening of the doors, and we opened the first door. All tried opening the chest, didn't get it. Swapped to another character, did that again. Swapped to another character, did it again, and that took quite a big chunk of I think that took about 40%. No, yeah, it was about 40% for just doing that opening section on the Hard Leviathan. So things that, but I think the other thing that Andy was saying was it's not just the tributes that he's worried about of just constantly doing like a part of the raid to get that point done. It then ties in with the moments of triumph, because the moments of triumph, you have got to have completed that specific raid to get that moment of triumph done. And I think that's a little bit more, that is a little more fairer, isn't it? That you have to have a clear to show those moments of triumph.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, and that's still, you either have a group or you're going to LFG, and we all know what a big mixed bag LFG would be. You can roll through a raid in 45 minutes, you can roll through a raid in the first room and get stuck for 6 hours and not progress. So,
yeah,
if you've got the time to throw at it, and I've been on both sides of this where I've had, I've been able to play, like a little bit after work, maybe 2 days a week, and then maybe Saturday night we would try to raid, or now I'm in a position where I can play a lot more. And if you've got, 4 or 5 hours a week to play Destiny with all that you can do, that, raiding is probably not your top priority, because you're like, okay, I can spend all this time probably failing through this, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're having to learn the raid in the process. Yeah, or you can go run a strike, run a gambit, run a crucible. Okay, there's 3 powerful drops right there. I should jump into menagerie. Again, or if you don't own Forsaken, there's still plenty of stuff to do in this game. While you wait for Shadowkeep to come out, if you're making that jump, it's like there's just there's so much to do. Especially if you're with limited time, the rating is definitely not probably on the top of your priority list, unless you've got a group who will be like, hey, we'll take you through it.
I mean, that's what happened with me. I sat down and I thought, right, I want to do the raid today. And the first day was kind of frustrating because I was talking to Blue in the clan. And the first day I was with him, and, I was asking every post that came up was like, 2 people, we need to do whichever raid was coming up. I was saying, 2 people haven't done this specific raid, Last Wish, Scourge of the Past, or Crown of Sorrow. Would you be willing to teach us? We're not stupid. And the first day, it was just like nobody was responding, and I was getting really frustrated with it. And I'm thinking, I'm telling people on a podcast, be honest, people will pick you up,
right?
But
and they won't. They want people who are like, must have 10 plus clears, must have year 3 Gallahorn.
And
must
yet
get 45
you
minutes.
guys were mad at me for telling people to lie.
No. But then saying that, after like a couple of hours, we gave up kind of at that specific time of day. Tried again the next day, and I found a group straight away. They asked me if I could jump on my Warlock, which was no problem. If I had somebody else online, at the time there wasn't anybody else available. They would have brought those in to teach as well. They were already teaching another person in the group, so there would have been 3 of us learning. And we managed to get through the Crown of Sorrow up to phase 2 of the boss. At that point, they had to go because it was quite late, and I abandoned my Warlock at that point. And then I saw another group. I posted to say that I'd got up to this, the phase 2. I knew what I was doing because we'd done a couple of runs of the phase 2, and everybody disbanded. They took me on. We went straight through as a Titan, and I cleared it straight away. It took us 45 minutes because I'd kind of been honest with that group, and I'd been honest with the previous group. So the honesty thing did work, but you have to
Maybe it took you 2 days.
But I found a group that were willing to teach people, and it wasn't like they were willing to teach one person as they went through. They were teaching 3 people. And like I said to you guys, once you've kind of done that encounter, it's quite easy to do and quite easy to teach other people to do it. And
I know, I've done it.
I'm finding I'm now seeing, like, towards the weekend, a lot more groups are saying we're willing to teach you. Avoid the groups that are saying, we want you to have 5+ clears, because they're obviously not going to give up their time to teach you. But yeah, it was definitely worth it. And now that I've done it, I feel more confident about actually taking other people through. Oh yeah, I went back and did the Warlock. Sorry.
So I was going to say, so are we? Is the next time going to be Demon yelling at us instead of me yelling at y'all?
Obviously.
So have you finished your rant now? Because I've realised that we've talked forever and a day.
Yeah, my food's here now. I wasn't finished with my rant, but now I'm eating. So
you're going to need more music. You're going to need an entire symphony to play the music for that rant, because this I think went on for the last 45 minutes.
Well, guess what?
What?
Where? Who?
Player
Why?
support.
How?
Player support has their weekly report.
Player support.
Don't interrupt me.
My favorite.
I'm
my favorite
in
kind
the
of support.
in the flow. Player support has their weekly report on the state of the game and any known issues to watch out for. Here is Parody to tell you what you need to know.
So, known issues this week. Players should be aware that when they're trying to get all these triumphs done that we've been talking about, you cannot use the Truth rocket launcher. It does not count towards the triumph, and neither does the quest version of the Legend of Acurus. So if you have a Legend of Acurus, go to Dim, go to Star Commander, go to Little Light, pull it up and look at it. If you have one that has no catalyst slot, no ornament slot, and only a single round in the chamber, and it has a Shot Blast intrinsic perk, which is going to have all these things, players with this version, you can upgrade it and then use it to work on your triumph. But if you have the quest version with none of these upgrades to it, you cannot use it to complete your triumphs. It will not give you any additional credit. Now, if you have completed the On the Comms mission with the exotic quest for Legend of Acurus and gotten the upgraded version with the ornament, the catalyst, and the 3 rounds in the chamber, you can use it to progress your triumphs. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, vital information for the Moments of Triumph. With the recent rollout of the 2019 Moments of Triumph, we'd like to clarify a point of confusion which has emerged among players. Which one? Currently, players can complete only 22 of the 24 Moments of Triumph. The final 2 triumphs will become available after the launch of Solstice of Heroes on July 30th, 2019. In the meantime, players will be unable to complete the seal and earn the MMXIX title. Destiny 2 Season of Opulence known issues. We've got some known issues to add to our laundry list of known issues. Destiny Services. We're investigating an issue of Destiny Services issues over the past week. For live updates, go to Bungie Help and go to the forums. There have been a bunch of them trying to fly into the tower. We've been getting errored out. Night Demon got knocked offline mid-activity the other day and couldn't log back into the servers at all. It's just been a lot of wonkiness. So they're tracking a bunch of those just connectivity issues, which you'll see a variety of error messages on. Bright Dust Tributes. We're investigating an issue where the status given for the Bright Engram and Bright Dust Tributes are switched. So the player should not impact the player's ability to complete the Triumph Hall. So when you put one down, it looks like the other one and vice versa. You still get credit for it, don't worry about it. Tribute Hall Triumphs. We're investigating an issue where the Tribute Hall Triumphs will sometimes not give players tributes. So that's fun. So you do all the work and you don't get a reward for it. They'll fix it at some point.
Wait, whoa,
What? Catalyst and Drain Baroque. We're investigating an issue where the Triumph Hall... Sometimes you do a thing, it doesn't give you anything for doing it. They don't specify which one or ones aren't giving you credit.
You're not having another rant. Go back to eating your dinner.
But
The Sturm Catalyst and the Drain Baroque. We're investigating issues where the Drain Baroque doesn't count towards the Sturm's Catalyst. So use your regular Drain, not your Menagerie Drain Baroque. And for the whole laundry list of issues, we will put in a link in the show notes to the Season of Opulence known issues thread, which is worth taking a look at because we just cover the new ones every week. There is a big list of probably 30 or 40 or more issues of things that are on there. So if you are seeing an issue with the game, it doesn't hurt to hop over there and just take a look at what the current top issues are. Because again, Competitive Crucible, still broken. 690 gear for alternate characters.
Leviathan Raid, still broken.
Still Jubilant Ingram issues. Yeah, Leviathan Raid still doing weird stuff. I mean, all the stuff we've covered in the past couple weeks, still there. The Vestian Dynasty continues to drop from people when for some reason it shouldn't be. I don't think that's an issue, but hey, it's still there. Yeah, but there's probably actually closer to 50 issues or more on this page. So go check this page out. If you're seeing an issue going, I think this is broken in the game, you're probably right. It's broken in the game, and they're aware of it and working on it. And this has been your weekly edition of Known Issues. Now we have additional news and information. Because who doesn't love news and information if there's not more of it?
Well, this is all the hidden stuff that they never seem to put in the TWAB. They never go, oh, look, we've done a thing over here. Go and look here. You have to kind of wait till somebody goes, oh, look, this is here.
Yeah, I was honestly going to maybe read through the known issues, but as I pulled this list up, and I'm going, oh, dear God, no, there's way too many of them. Even just to blow through the names of them, there's a lot.
Oh, yeah, you did say the other day, you went, oh, should we just do a whole podcast on known issues? Now I'm thinking probably not a good idea.
Not a whole podcast, but yeah, no, not a whole podcast, but just sort of recapping the known. Maybe we'll do one. Maybe I'll do a quick read through of these before Shadowkeep drops or something. And be like, hey, here's all the stuff that's broken. Just remind you.
I gotta ask a question, right, about this news and information.
Hopefully,
yes.
You know how we've been talking about super moves and this and that and the other.
Super.
One thing they've finishing moves. Sorry, finishing moves against this and that and the other.
Mhm.
Nobody, as far as I can
Yeah.
tell, has mentioned, can you do super moves in Crucible? I'm sorry, damn it, finishing moves in Crucible.
I mean, they haven't talked about those a lot at all. They basically just say if you can do it against people that are of low health
They
or
said
something.
you can do it
So I'm
against
going to
enemies,
assume you can,
right? But every clip
they haven't really
we've
mentioned.
seen is them doing it against PvE. I want to know, because think about how, I don't know, you can fill in that blank, how good it would be if you can use a finishing move on a person inside the Crucible. Just like salt in the wound, you know what I mean? Oh my God. I hope they
it's
do.
like doing an emote.
Yeah. I hope they let it, because I might become a Crucible player if I can finish people off. That would be amazing.
What Respawn's talking about is the Polygon magazine and website have put out a couple of news articles, and we'll link them in the show notes. Basically, they've sat down with General Manager Mark Noseworthy and Franchise Director Luke Smith from Bungie to discuss finishing moves and the changes to the armor in Shadowkeep. So these are quite interesting website posts that have gone up in the last week. And they're quite brief, and we've highlighted a few things from that. With regards to the finishing moves, Luke Smith says, when an enemy gets to a certain health threshold, they're going to have an indicator which means that they can be finished. So possibly this might be something that's coming in Crucible. Finishing moves aren't solely cosmetic. Players can add mods to their armor that enhances their finishing moves in exchange for exposing yourself during the animation and some super energy that they can create a unique effect. Luke Smith gives an example of this with generating ammunition for your fire team after each finishing move. He also says that the mods for your finisher will be one of the slots on the armor pieces. The animation of the finishing moves is equipped separately from the gameplay impacting elements. So players customize the two separately so they can choose the combat bonus they need without sacrificing the cosmetic final blow that they like the look of. The in-game benefit of the final blows aren't impacted by whichever final blow animation players have equipped. They thought of it as a kind of combat emote. Mark Noseworthy said that. Players will likely earn the cosmetic finishing moves in the same way they do with emotes through the Eververse store or rare unlocks for difficult in-game challenges. But players can only earn mods that give combat bonuses by playing Destiny 2. And at launch, you'll only be able to equip one combat finisher, but they're working hard on being able to equip multiple of them, Luke Smith said. And then depending on the power of the finishing move, players may need to coordinate who finishes off what in each encounter, assessing risk-reward for executing a finishing move against a difficult boss.
So one thing that you forgot to mention that I think is cool about this whole thing is that one part that you kind of glossed over about how you'll be able to equip more than one finishing move. When you do that, they're working on something right now that will randomly use one of the ones that you've got equipped. So you can equip 3 or 4 that you like, and you never know what's going to come out. It's just going to use one of the ones that you have equipped, and I think that's really cool too. Instead of just always having the same thing over and over again, but then to throw in a little randomness based on what you have on your armor, that's cool.
Yeah, but that's not going to be at launch, is it?
No, as far as what I can tell, they said that they're quote unquote working on that app.
Yeah, at launch of Shadowkeep, we're going to have one finishing move to choose from, which I just love the idea of. I'm just waiting for the entire YouTube version of finishing people and things and raid bosses off with finishing moves.
Oh, dude, that's another thing. Can you finish a raid boss? What?
It's possibly going to be a mechanic for that, isn't there?
Yeah, I mean, I assume it's got to deal some. If they're saying like it's a combat emote, I assume it's going to do some level of damage. Now, probably not very much, but I assume it would do something. 6 people finishing move Calus, he'll have to be pretty low, I would assume. But yeah, I'd love to see. I guess we'll see if it actually deals damage or if it's sort of once you already have the kill, when it actually triggers, when it activates. But it's a fun mechanic, that I had sort of forgotten about them announcing until the Polygon article ran. It's like, oh yeah, that's the thing we're going to get that no one remembered.
And then they said in another Polygon article, I think that went up on the 18th, just before the TWAB, in regards to subclass trees, like they had in Destiny 1, where you could customize your attributes in each subclass. Luke Smith says, we have certainly heard feedback throughout Destiny 2's life cycle about those things, and honestly, they're not doing anything this fall. So where you could pick a subclass for a character, but then you could customize it where you know, like on the Hunter, for example, you could
Like on
slide
D1?
further. Yeah, you could slide further, couldn't you? There was a node that you could select that would increase the slide distance on your character, or you could increase the time that you went invisible. There was various different things that you could. There was hundreds of possibilities that you could actually do. You could pick all different nodes, but it would affect your abilities as well. So your intellect, discipline, and strength, which were part of the main components for Destiny 1. But they're not going to do that as yet. But it's probably something they're going to bring back into it, that you can then break apart these subclasses and then pick and choose. You probably won't be able to, say, pick something from bottom tree Arc Strider and put it with the top one. It'll probably be a broken down section of it, and more
Why not?
more in line with Destiny 1. Maybe, but I'm thinking that you wouldn't be able to mix and match.
That's exactly what I want. I want to be able to mix and match. 100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want to add the
I mean-
invisibility to the dodge when I'm on mid-tree void hunter. Right? Why not?
Yeah.
Then I'm going to need to add my shoulder charge to my infinite
Yeah.
stampede.
On
That's
second
probably
thought-
why they're thinking about it.
Let me throw up a bubble and strap detonators to everything nearby me. There's a couple of combinations where I go.
What
"That's
if
gonna be
like
completely
D1?
broken," if
What if
they let
D1,
you do that?
right? You pop a bubble with Helm of Saint 14, and your bubble, whatever walks through, becomes the detonator. What?
I just want gauntlets back where I can punch people and make them my friend
No
and
backup
turn them.
plans, yeah. No, what I'd like the bubble to actually. if it gets shot,
not the no backup plans. No, not the no backup plans. The ones that they released, like all the Ephrodite's things at the very end of the game. One of them, I can't remember the name of it. One of them would let you like punch things and turn a PvE enemy
yeah.
like onto your side for a limited time. And so you could walk up and punch it. You know, it was sort of random, but you could walk up and say punch an ogre and turn that ogre to your side for some amount of time.
That wasn't a gauntlet.
Yeah, artifact. Yeah, that's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, I mean, something you could equip on your character to give you that ability. I just remember running around with panoramics, yelling "Be my friend" and punching things and seeing how many things we could turn. That's all.
What I'd like on a bubble titan is if your bubble gets shot, it generates orbs. What's the point of just having 2 or 3 orbs drop? It's useless.
Yes, I
useless.
missed that.
Gift of the
Yeah,
Void.
I missed that.
I
in
never
D1.
ran anything except Gift of the Void on my Titan, man. That was so good.
Ooh, or give me a bubble that I can shoot and encircle somebody with to trap them inside, where they just have to stand there.
The bubble
I would
becomes
be
a
okay
cage.
if they don't take damage.
Yeah.
I would be okay if they didn't, if they, you know, it would make them immune, but they would just have to stand there and watch what happens for 15 seconds. Like a Nova Bomb that just entraps you and go, you just have to sit there. You're in timeout. You sit there and you think about what you did. I want to run 6 of those in Mayhem and just disable the other team and just dance in front of them.
So
But no, you say that, yes, but think about how good that would be in other game modes, right? It didn't do any damage, but it would disable something, right? So that ogre that keeps killing your
It
freaking
would be
team,
incredible.
you pop that on him and you can clear the ads and then work on the ogre. That would be amazing.
Yeah. And then you just line the ground below the ogre with grenades when he comes out of the bubble.
Right?
He's
And
on
see,
fire
we're
and dead.
getting to the extremes here.
You think I
We're
haven't
getting to
thought
the
this out?
extremes
Come on
here,
now.
but honestly speaking, I think I would play my Titan more than I play my Warlock if we got the Taikonaut along with the Dragon's Breath. I know we've had this conversation, but I swear to God, if we get the Dragon's Breath,
that's the new remix.
What I really want is Middle Tree Dawnblade, where it gives you the Well of Healing for your allies, but does solar damage to any enemies.
well,
that
you
step
already
inside
do
of it.
solar damage when you're standing in the well. You know that, right?
Right, but I want that. If an ogre, if I'm on Reckoning Tier 3 and we're going up the bridge, and one of those ogres or whatever walks into that well, they take burn damage from being in that well at the same time.
It's a good idea, but I don't think it would be a thing because fire would damage guardians too, right? I know it's light fire or whatever.
No, we're fancy guardians.
You say
we're
that,
allies.
but we can hurt ourselves with our light. Example: Nova Bomb can kill the Warlock.
So
Blade Barrage can kill the Hunter.
I really like how we say we want to put someone in a bubble and he's fine with that, but we add a little bit of solar damage to an existing thing. And
Because
he's like,
the bubble
that's
makes
too
sense.
far.
The bubble
That's
is
crazy.
a physical object, right? The fire is not. If things get hurt going into the fire, that means we would have to be subject to it as well. Like I said, Nova Bomb can kill the Warlock that shoots it, and Blade Barrage can kill the Hunter that throws them. So on that same premise,
After a
right,
point.
that fire would hurt the Guardians, at least somewhat. You know, like maybe that new hand cannon that's coming out, it might light you on fire. You might not be hurt by the burn damage coming from it, but you'll be hurt
Night
from the
Demon.
fire.
Is he trying to well actually me about space magic?
I'm
So
not.
let's get back into the articles. Luke Smith explains that players have a way to earn and find mods to socket into their favorite armor pieces. For players who really want to invest in their gear, they can upgrade those pieces. Armor 2.0 is going to have the energy system, Smith says. You power up the armor to increase its capacity, which lets you equip more mods. Instead of just mobility, resilience, and recovery, there'll also be intellect, discipline, and strength, returning from Destiny 1. These stats work like they did in the last game and reduce the cooldown of players' supers, grenades, and melee abilities, respectively. Smith also says that the team is widening the range of mobility, recovery, and resilience, but said players will need to wait a bit longer to learn exactly what this means. Stats and mods are the two core pillars of Armor 2.0 system. Stats incentivize players to pick up better and better versions of their favorite armor pieces, while mods allow them to customize their playstyle. And they're going to introduce new mods with the pool for you to chase come with Shadowkeep. Smith also gives an example of using specific mods to make his life easier. He says that he likes hand cannons, so he might put 2 hand cannon reloader mods on his gloves that stack and work together.
Oh my
For
god!
players who want to improve specific abilities, like increasing their reload speed with all hand cannons, have that option in 2.0. Perily.
And I was just to say, I think this lays the groundwork for, we now have a system in the game to let you look at stats and build out things the way you want in armor. It wouldn't be a far leap to implement the same system once they get the bugs and kinks worked out of it into subclasses to maybe expand into that. Now, that also being said, I would also love that to come back, but please, for the love of God, give me good tools to manage it. I don't want to be, going into my menu and selecting 15 different bubbles. Give me an app, build it into something, let me build some loadouts. I want there to be either first party or third party tools that make this easier.
That has nothing to do with Bungie.
Right. Well, I'm saying,
but if it was available in the Bungie app and you had that in your Guardian to then transfer weapons and things, if you had a specific part of the app, I think it would work.
Yeah. I mean, either have it in the Bungie app or have it available through the API to let these folks like Dim and stuff build that into, I would love to pull up Dim on my laptop, pull open, my loadout builder and say, okay, I want to build, here's my particular raid loadout where I want to max out grenades and resilience and Let me build that out in something that's not the game itself. Because I look at, 15 choices and I go, okay, now what does this thing mean? Because I give good names to everything, but I'm going, I don't remember what this perk is called. I don't remember what this perk does. Give me some way to build this out. Let me use them in game, but I'd love to be able to pop open the Bungie app and say, okay, here's my Gambit Infinite Grenade Crusher build. Let me build that out on something that's not the game itself.
See,
and then
let
me throw it on, and then let me access a loadout in game in some way. Whether it's the game, whether it's the Bungie app, let me load it and access this loadout in some way. Because if you're, they keep saying we're going to make this more of an RPG, we're going to need some tools to manage the RPG experience.
See, in saying that,
as it is now, it's not, it's not there.
In saying that, I don't know why you are saying this. The reason is because if you can stack the same mod multiple times on your armor, I know what you're going to do. You're going to get a piece of armor that you like the way it looks, and you're going to stack 6 punching, recovery on each piece of armor. That way, all you can do is just punch every second, right?
No. You use the syntheseps for those. You need grenades, particularly you need the arc grenades, because I can engage you in a firefight, but if you have to keep moving because you're getting hit by arc damage every 4 seconds, that's what I want. I want to flush you out of where you are so I can pick you off. We need more grenades. I need grenades and I need resilience. The punching is just when I get close to you, or if you hunter hop over me with your shotgun, I can reach out and smack you. But that's it. I just want grenades and resilience. And again, if we're gonna have an armor system and you're gonna let me build out an armor class, if there's no good way, if I've got 3 subclasses to choose from and I spec them all out a certain way, and it's like, okay, I'm going from strikes to gambit. I'm running a raid. I'm going to do menagerie. I don't want to go in and switch over those 15 bubbles, or again, however many it's going to be every time I do something. I love to build even just giving a gambit loadout, a menagerie loadout, something, so I'm not having to switch this around every single time, because a lot of people just won't do it, me included, because I'm lazy.
Aw.
So, Respawn, would you like to take us through what Cosmo and DMG have been saying over on the forums, Twitters, and Reddit?
Yeah, I can do that. All right. First person to get 100,000 Baron. I always call them Banyan. I know that they're Baron, but I call them Banyan. I don't know why. First person to get 100,000 Baron burrows on their account gets a collector's edition of Shadowkeep.
Burrows? Are they rabbit?
So you acknowledge you can't say the first word, but then you also can't say the second word either.
So Baron bows? How would you say that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Bow. There's no burrow.
Okay.
You're not in New York City. There's no R in that
bows.
word anywhere.
Okay, Baron Bows on their account gets a collector's edition of Shadowkeep. To prove you have completed this feat, reply to the Reddit comment with your account name, and Cosmo will check it out on Reddit. Now, how do you know how many you've collected? Do you have to have 100,000 on you?
Yes.
I'm only like 98,000 away, so I don't know what you guys are planning.
So you can only hold 999 at a time. So you'd have to have 11 stacks of Baron Bows on your character.
I'm just checking now. I'm just checking my character now.
Yeah, you should have. See, this is why you should have the vault space to have all these Baron Bows in there, so you can get a free version of the game. I don't see what's wrong with that.
I can do a rant.
I've got 7 stacks. I could keep going.
So you
there you
got
go.
at least 600 right there.
You're not far off.
Well, I'm sorry, 6,000.
There's always going to be somebody there before me, though.
No, wait, no, I lied. Whoa, no, okay, so that would only give you 10,000. You need 101 stacks.
Damn it!
What? That is not worth a collector's edition of Shadowkeep. I'm saying this.
I don't know.
There is no way that's worth only a collector's edition of Shadowkeep.
Yeah, but if you had that many stacks, you'd be straight.
Not with that kind of attitude, it's not.
Yeah, exactly. I have that kind of attitude.
And absolutely, and you're absolutely glossing over the fact that this started as a petition to have Shadowkeep purchasable with Baron Bows by Booble, Reddit user Booble, Boobel, saying, we wouldn't be able to have them purchasable, and because I clicked the link.
Oh,
and Cosmo says, deal. First person to get 100,000 gets a free, version to do this. Have at it. So this wasn't Cosmo just saying, "Hey guys, go ahead and do this." It was someone saying, "Hey, make this happen." And Cosmo saying, "All right, you're on. Here's what you need to do."
That one guy's got it. What they did is they looked at that guy's account to see how many he's got, and then gave a ridiculous so that guy doesn't get it. All right, a developer accessing Shax's inventory in orbit in the Vidoc is debugging. Blah. A developer accessing Shax's inventory in orbit in the Vidoc is debug shenanigans will not be in Shadowkeep. Yeah, okay. Targeting a fix for the Crucible invisibility bug on the 30th. All right, guys. They have Reddit links. Let me see.
It's all right.
What? Because there's no context here, right? Targeting a fix in the Crucible invisibility bug on the 30th. What does that mean? What's invisible? The characters and the weapons, yeah, we know that. But anybody who's listening that doesn't know that, like, well, what's going on?
I put it in bulletin points so that you could explain. You don't have to just read that. You've noticed that me and Parody will read like a bullet point and then explain it. We don't then turn to you and go, "What am I saying here?" You explain it to people. Explain it to me like I'm an 8-year-old.
Remember the thing he was saying about the heat? I think it knocked some things loose upstairs too. So.
All right, so the fix for the Crucible invisibility is that sometimes the character model or the character weapon is not showing up. You just have the invisible, sparkly, galaxy-looking model, right? They're fixing that. Congratulations. Various workarounds. Number 1, go to your Pursuits tab. Check if any bounties were completed and then turn them in. Number 2, go to your shader inventory. Kill a shader you don't need. Number 3, refrain from making comments about people having jobs, inferring they should be fired. This is game development. Bugs happen. This will be fixed. That's funny. Did I include that? Okay. Anyway, They are testing some cross-save stuff to make sure it's ready for prime time. You might encounter Guardians in the wild with cross-save enabled. Also, you can only see that when you look at the Guardian from your map where it shows everybody that's in your area. One of them will have an icon. That icon means it's cross-save enabled, right? So that's what that's about. If you see somebody like that, most likely it's a Bungie dev. Hunt him, berate him, tell him that what he's doing is wrong. Even if it's not, just give him a hard time.
And when you get banned,
So
now we know why.
If they get banned for that, though, that's just bad on the Bungie devs part.
You've just
Like,
told
you can't
people
ban
to
somebody
hound
just
them.
because they're
You
following
sure
you.
can.
Yeah,
You
there's nothing wrong
they
with
can
that.
do whatever they want. It's their game. We just live in it.
You know what? I'm just going to throw this
Yeah,
suggestion
but
out
I'm
there
saying
right
that
now.
that's mean.
If any Bungie developers are listening, please block his account on day one.
No.
Just to make me laugh
no,
that he can't
no,
get on the play.
No, don't do that. Don't block his account. Just glitch every raid he tries to do so he can never actually get the clear. Have everyone else get the raid clear and him get no rewards, no exotics.
Yeah, you say that, but there's got to be some kind of legal mumbo jumbo in there that's not going to let him do that because I paid for a service and they're taking away that service when I've done nothing to deserve
prove it.
So
You can't prove it.
So
I was
anyway.
on the Leviathan with you yesterday, getting bumped over those little half walls in the void room because reasons. So it's not a feature; it's a bug.
It's not a bug; it's a feature. You mean?
They fixed a part of the press to apply problem again, but there are still some other issues that affect it. The team is working on a new fix now. They'll give you more details on it.
Yeah,
soon.
it's definitely been better, but I've seen it with shaders, particular shaders and mods. Everything else, like the channel seems fine. Like most things seem fine, but yeah, the shaders and mods, and even then, it's only taken, I think, at most
the Nightfall does
at
it.
most,
too.
oh, does it?
The
Okay,
Nightfall
at most like 3 times to apply
thing,
something.
yeah.
It's not like the Revelry when it was like 6, 7, 8 tries and it just would not take. But so yeah, it's gotten better, but hey, it's I get it. Bugs happen.
Okay. They don't know if they can. I'm sorry. This is DMG, by the way. They don't know if they can tune the timers for Reckoning, but they can check to see if they have time to further address drop chances for Reckoning weapons. That's cool because I do a lot of Reckoning and I've only got 7 or 8 weapons, and 5 of those are freaking the bug out bag, and 3 of those are curated bug out bags. So can we change this up a little bit? Just anything.
I was going to say this. I was going to say the exact opposite because I've run again a ton of Reckoning in the last 2 weeks because I'm trying to get these armor sets again for the Triumphs to complete. Which shout out to Panoramics 18 and not to Night Demon because I'm sitting here grinding for a helmet, completely forgetting you have to go to the Drifter, buy a particular bounty from him to get the helmet to drop for your notorious gear. Remember, as I said last week, if there's a way for Parody to screw something up in the game, he will absolutely take advantage of it. So now that I've picked up the proper bounty,
pointed out to Parody, he was on a podcast where we detailed what you need to do to get a helmet.
Was. But as I'm sitting here talking about last week, no helmets dropping, who said anything? Respawn? Night Demon? Who mentioned that?
I wasn't there. I would have.
You were on the podcast last week. You were here.
Are you sure I was paying
attention? Well, no, you're never paying attention. So that's that goes without saying.
I did say,
but
you can't both say that. Come on, man.
It's true. But that being said, I have seen, again, I ran a bunch of Reckoning in Season of the Drifter, but again, I've run a bunch more in these last couple of weeks, specifically tier 3s, looking for my Warlock brethren out there in the world. And I've seen a much greater variety. Because, I had, I think, 4 or 5 bug out bags drop, period, like in all Seasons of the Drifter, and never had seen, I think, the Night Watch scout rifle I got this week. Like I've seen a lot more weapons drop and variety weapons drop. So I was going to say maybe they've tweaked something, or maybe it's just my RNG coming back to bite me or save me. I don't know.
I don't know. Do they have any other weapons? Because I've got the shotgun twice. I've got that scout rifle twice, and I've got the bug out bag like 5 times.
There's a lonesome.
But that's all I've ever seen.
You need to do it on a different week then.
Hand cannon, sidearm, something.
I'm on every week, by the way. But continue.
Let me see if I can do.
A lonesome hand cannon. Okay, you know what? Yes,
hand cannon or sidearm. I don't remember. I don't remember which it is. I haven't.
It is.
I haven't fired it. I just know I have one drop.
I love the fact that you're asking this question, Respawn, because you too were also on a podcast where we detailed what you get from each week on the
Yeah, the lonesome attack sidearm. So it is a kinetic sidearm that dropped.
But they have a hand cannon too that I was farming
Yes.
too, and I did get
Oh,
that.
good.
Okay, so you know what? You're right. I have gotten each one of those. So disregard my last. I just have crap memory because all I've seen lately are bug out bags. So I was salty. I take it back.
Yeah, bug out bag did seem to be the one that dropped most often or first or something. Yeah, because I've seen a ton of those drop. Oh, and the gnawing hunger, the auto rifle, which is one of my favorites. Great for shooting skulls.
I've
in
only
Leviathan.
seen one of those, and it's such a bad roll for me. I wish I could get.
Oh yeah, I've got an auto loading holster and swashbuckler that I was using in the raid last night to shoot skulls. It's beautiful. It makes me happy.
Oh, I'm jealous. That sounds like such a good gun.
It's a lot of fun.
So
Yeah, mine
let's
has
get back on
has
task.
freaking kill
So
clip
yeah,
and
reckoning.
auto loading holster.
Things are dropping. Anyway.
Yeah. Stupid. All right, so
Feedback.
Feedback about Taraba. Terrible. What are we talking about? Oh yeah, it's that thing is being too weak, and it has been passed along, and they know about
And
it.
that's a SMG from the new raid. Is that what it is?
It is. It's the exotic
Okay.
SMG. Yes,
I remember that was the thing that dropped,
It's-
day one for everybody. I didn't remember what kind of gun it was. Yeah,
I didn't get it.
It's because you haven't completed it yet.
you didn't finish the day one either. So
I'm not allowed to have. I am not allowed. Maybe this is what Bungie's doing to me. I have yet to this day to receive any raid specific exotic, not just the weapons, but like sparrows and stuff. I don't have any of them from any raid, despite how many times I've done these raids. I'm not allowed to have raid exotics.
and
At all.
Pan doesn't get an Calus weapon or a Sunrise Warrior. We all have things we can't have in life.
Speaking of which, this is the sniper week.
Moving on.
No, that gun doesn't exist.
Whatever.
Moving on.
Right? Okay, so the team is looking into how to make Baron bows useful to the economy.
Yeah, by collecting 100,000 of them, getting a free game. Done. Moving on.
There you go. Feedback regarding lack of a tribute has also been a tribute for Baron bows? What?
I guess so.
Yeah, the free game
No.
tribute, obviously.
No, please don't. Please don't.
Do it,
Okay,
Bungie.
whatever.
Do it.
We'll check with the sandbox team on what their thoughts are for the one-eyed mask. While their attention is squarely on balancing Shadowkeep, and I want to point out that I didn't say anything.
In the
Could have
future of
held my
Sandbox,
tongue.
DMG will ask if there are plans for future tuning to complete the thought. So they're not making any
Right.
changes,
I
but
just-
they're looking into it for the future. After Shadowkeep, because that's clearly where their focus is right now.
Feedback to have a conga line
Yes.
emote has been passed.
Yes,
Whoever made
Yes.
that a thing,
Yes.
you are a god among.
absolutely.
You are amazing. Oh, what if it's like infinitely stacking too? Like you're in the tower and you have just
Yes.
one gigantic conga
Also,
line.
Bungie, please give us a tribute
What?
or achievement or something for having everybody in your tower, 10 or more, in a conga line through the tower, because that would be incredible.
100%. I can't wait to see that on
Oh,
YouTube.
conga line
That's going to be
tribute.
great.
Or, yeah, emote.
The team is working on a problem. What? The team is working on the problem space of scout
Rifles suck.
The problem.
They're working on it.
No, but hold on. What's this wording? Help me out, because
They're saying scout rifles, the problem space of scout rifles. Scout rifles as a problem space. It's weird wording, but
Okay.
that's what they decided to go with.
And how they don't have a perfect place in the sandbox or any place at all. Pulse rifles have enough range to edge into the space that scout rifles are meant for. They get feedback frequently on their viability in both PvE and PvE spaces. To be fair, though, man, in the beginning of D2, scout rifles were all of the rage. You
And
know?
haven't been
If you
since.
didn't, yeah. So they had their time in the sun. Now it's been a while, granted, but it's not like they never had a place. You know, there was a place for them in the beginning. Okay, sorry. Feedback about bringing more life into patrol zones, wandering NPCs, dungeons, etc. Dude, a wandering NPC. Have we ever had that in Destiny? No, huh? That would be a new thing, right? Oh, sweet. Has been passed along. Awesome. On faction rallies. We still don't have them. Hey, all. Thank you for the continued feedback on this. I've posted this line a few times today, so go ahead and roast me for the copy pasta. We've been getting feedback on the absence of faction rallies since they went on hiatus last year. While I can't make any promises on or when they'd return, I'd like to ask some questions here to help prioritize the feedback points that we've been collecting. Number 1, what are the aspects of factions or faction rallies that you liked
My
most?
renown.
Oh, I don't know. Having them would be nice. Sorry.
Screaming my renown every time
Uh,
I died with a full renown stack, obviously.
Oh my god! I didn't like the renown thing. I didn't. Also, while we're about it, I don't like having one faction for all 3 of your characters. It was way better when you could have one faction for each character. That way, you didn't miss
But
out
then
on
there's
it.
no point in having a faction rally. There's no point in having factions. You need to pledge.
That's not
You're
true.
only going to pledge to one of them anyway. So what do you care? You are.
I only pledged
you are
to
space
one.
goth for life.
I
through
only
and through.
pledged to one whenever that one was account wide. Now, whenever we had our choices, the hunter was always the space goth. The titan was always the royalty.
New monarchy.
Monarchy.
Thank you. Yes, and the warlock was always future war cult. I always split them up that exact same way every single time. Right?
Welcome back to
So,
what Respawn did in the game. Let's get on with question number 3.
But what? That's he asked for feedback. I'm giving feedback.
He hasn't
Shut up.
asked you specifically for feedback. He's asked the community.
He did. I'm reading it. It
Go on the
says it
forum.
right here.
Go on the forum and fill in the
He
form.
doesn't care about the feedback on the show. He wants you to type it because he's not going to listen to it.
He's not listening to you on the show.
He does not love you.
Question 3. Question 3.
Have there been any? I'm sorry. Have there been any other activities in Destiny or Destiny 2 that you thought factions impacted in a good way? Examples: Lost Sector Grind. Some people enjoyed it, while others really did not. On Braytech Weapons. Thank you for your continued feedback on this subject. The team made some adjustments to the other rewards that are required for the Wayfarer seal. I'll check and see where this is currently sitting in the quality of life backlog that we have running, and get you all some information when I can. I admit I was lucky enough to get the weapons required, but I finally understand how frustrating it can be waiting for that final weapon to drop. There's a forum link for this.
And there's a forum link for the faction rallies as well.
Listen, just last week, one of you said that you know for a fact Bungie has at least one person listening to this podcast.
No, we lied
Right?
to you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we don't tell you the truth. Although Night Demon does do that special edit of just 2 Titans and no Hunter that he sends over to Bungie directly. It's just the 2 of us without you entirely, without feelings. So
See, to be fair, if I have that kind of reaction to people to where you have to do something like that,
Please, I don't spend time editing you out. I do. actually.
Iron Banner quest info. See, there you go. Iron Banner quest info.
This is our main feature for the week because we weren't able
Okay.
to put it in a couple of weeks ago because when we had the Iron Banner, nobody really knew what the quest steps were until it was live. So now we know what the quest steps are and how to progress them faster, and the fact that they haven't changed them from the first Iron Banner.
So what you're saying is I should be excited when reading this because this is an exciting.
Yeah, I don't know
thing?
what voice.
Do I
I
need to
don't
get
know what
hyped?
voice you were doing in the last read through.
I don't know either. I was just bored. Okay, so
But because they also
all right, guys.
hang on.
All right.
Because they also haven't changed the Iron Banner quest steps, which is what they were going to do. They were going to make them easier, but they haven't changed it in this Iron Banner. So the information that we gathered on the last Iron Banner is still relevant for this week's Iron Banner that's coming up. So that's why we thought we'd make a main topic out of it to help people either start the quest or progress through the quest faster.
Okay. Are you good?
I'm so good. Are you continuing then?
Yes.
Good. Because
Okay.
apparently I'm a robot half the time.
All right, guys, check this out. Iron Banner quest info. Reminder, this quest is meant to be done throughout the season of Opulence and is not limited to just 1 week of the weeks in the season's Iron Banner. First topic, getting the armor is a bit different this time around, even though it's not. When you go talk to Lord Saladin, he'll offer you a quest. Pick it up, take it into the Iron Banner. There are 3 things that you can do right here, apparently, according to these bullet points. The first thing is, in the Season of Opulence, Iron Banner armor has 2 mod slots. One for a normal mod, and another for Season of Opulence mod. In addition to that, it also has an ornament slot. Players who earned any of the Iron Banner ornaments from year 1 can now decorate their new armor with the old ornaments. These steps are only available during the Season of Opulence. Step 1. As a team, Step 1 is what you can do to complete these quests. Okay, there was no segregation there. That's my bad. I should have read ahead a little bit. Set and Step 1. As a team, earn points by defeating enemy guardians in the Iron Banner. About 200 kills in total from you and your team. The reward? Boots. Step 2. As a team, earn points by capturing zones and earning power plays. The more teammates capturing a zone, the greater the points are earned. The greater the points that are earned. Excuse me, I can't seem to read. Every capture gives about 1% or so you need 100 captures. More people on a flag give more progress. However, if you manage to get a total control, it gives an additional 10%. I'm sorry, 10% total, not additional. You can get
It's written down for you.
I feel like an infomercial.
Words. You are adding words
because I'm getting into it. I'm sorry. Look, I feel like an infomercial. I feel like I should get some like black tape and stick it on a tub. Okay. You can now get up to 25% if all 3 zones are captured in a power play with all 6 guardians. This reward is arms. Step 3. As a team, earn points by defeating guardians in Iron Banner with supers. Teammate kills count while you're doing this step also. 100 super kills equals 200 points. 100 melee ability kills equals 100 points. 100 grenade kills equals 150 points. 1 super kill, 2 points. 1 melee kill, 1 point. 1 grenade kill, 1.5 points. I don't know why we had to say this twice. So the reward for this one is a class item. Hold on, is this the same part? Tips for classes? Yeah, it is step 4. Okay, cool. Tips for classes for Titans. Insurmountable Skullfort exotic helmet, which is on a kill with an arc melee triggers health regeneration and full melee energy. Top tree striker with double grenades and shoulder charge. Also, Titans can use the exotic gauntlets, the Syntheseps, which improve melee range, melee, and super damage. You know what? I got sidetracked. One of the Titans should have probably read this part, and then I could have got the Warlocks and Hunters.
No, it's fine. Just carry on.
Okay.
Praise the Titans.
Also, Titans can use exotic gauntlets, the Syntheseps, which improve melee range, melee, and super damage when you are surrounded. These can be paired with Metal Tree Striker with the Death from Above melee ability.
And the Peregrine Greaves are also a good choice.
Well, not according to this.
Well, I'm adding that they are. When you need to knock a hunter across the room, Peregrine Greaves works every time. But no,
Peregrine Greaves aren't a thing.
I will absolutely be.
By the way, they're not allowed in the Iron Banner.
I will be rocking Syntheseps all week because there's nothing better than pushing someone back and then hitting them with Syntheseps from across the room. No more T-Rex arms.
Warlocks can use Controverse Hold exotic gauntlets, which help resist incoming damage while charging up your Void Grenade and giving a random amount of grenade energy back on hit. Using Handheld Supernova converts to a short-range Void Blast, which can one-shot kill. To be fair, that Handheld Supernova can one-shot kill anyway.
Yeah, but it counts as a grenade kill.
It does count as a grenade kill.
Which is why we're pointing it out. A lot like the Titans with the Insurmountable Skullfort, with the melees and Syntheseps, and the double grenade charges for your class.
Also, a Dawnblade Warlock could use the exotic gauntlet, the Sun Bracers, with solar grenades, as they increase the duration of the grenade and melee kills grant unlimited solar energy for a brief time. And Ophidian Aspect exotic gauntlets extend melee range, paired with the Top Tree Stormcaller, where melee hits can chain lightning to nearby enemies and have an extended range melee. Here's the question. Will the Ophidian Aspect extend the range of your Metal Tree Warlock arc? You know how you have that little arc ball that goes out? Will that extend the range that goes before it detonates?
That's a great question.
Right? So the Ophidian Aspect exotic gauntlets extend melee range. But the Metal Tree arc on a Warlock, when you melee, you send out this little arc ball, right?
Okay.
And after a certain range, it'll detonate if it doesn't hit anything. Will this increase the range it flies before detonating?
Don't know.
Exactly.
Go to Reddit, figure it out.
Probably not. I don't know personally.
Hunters. We can use the Liar's Handshake exotic gauntlet, which is the only exotic gauntlets which you can use an arc melee ability or are hit by melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will heal you. This can be paired with the dodge ability that when you dodge near an enemy, you get your full melee back. When you get a melee kill, you get your full dodge back from the top tree Arc Strider. Okay, reset. Also, hunters could have the bottom tree Arc Strider with combat meditation, which critically... What? Sorry. Which when critically wounded, drastically recharges your melee and grenade energy. This can be set up with the Lucky Raspberry exotic chest piece, which increases the chain lightning capabilities of arc bolt grenades and has a chance to fully recharge them. You can proc combat meditation with any gun which ricochets back. You can stand near a wall and shoot it. Step 4. As a team, earn points by defeating enemies in Iron Banner using auto rifles, fusion rifles, scout rifles, sniper rifles, and swords. Points/percentages vary depending on who gets the kill. If you get the kill, it's worth more, obviously. If your teammate gets the kill, it is worth less. Why does... Okay. I hate redundancy. If your kill is worth more, obviously a teammate's kill would be worth less, but whatever.
Your kill makes the progress go about a third faster. It's about 33 personal kills or 100 teammate kills.
I get that, and that's all that was necessary. The fact that they said the other teammates count for less.
You didn't say that. I just said that.
Scout rifles, you need 160 points, approximately 33 personal kills or 100 teammate kills. Auto rifle, same thing. Fusion rifle, 150 points, which is approximately 33 personal kills or 100 teammate kills, meaning your teammates are killing people. You're not killing your teammates, which is unfortunately not a thing you can do in this game. Sniper rifle, you need 50 points, which is just 50 kills total. Doesn't say anything about whether it's you or your teammates, just flat limit. Sword, 40 points.
Also, can I point out with the sniper kills, the Iron Banner counts towards double progress for your Roka sniper rifle. So
competitive. Yep.
Because it's considered competitive. So if you are still doing that quest step, getting sniper rifle kills will hopefully double up. And especially if you're getting precision ones, you'll double up on that. So you only have to worry about the competitive points in the end.
Or if you're like me and you're still working on the rose and you're on that hand cannon step, yeah, that too.
Swords.
Yeah, I said okay. Swords, 40 points, which is about 8 kills or 8 personal kills or 16 teammate kills. Can somebody survive a sword kill in the Crucible? Let's stop and think. I guess if you have a super going, a super can stand a sword or sword hit, can it?
Yeah. If your resilience is high enough, probably.
Ask that question?
I've never not killed somebody with a single sword hit that I can think of, unless they're in a super. Okay, whatever. Scout rifle. A final blow by you is... Oh my God, we're just reiterating the same stuff again. Scout rifle. A final blow by you is worth 3%. A teammate's kill is worth 1%. Your kill, 4.8 points. Teammate's kill, 1.6 points. Same thing for their auto rifle. Fusion rifle. Same thing for the fusion rifle, except for the points. Your kill is worth 4.5, and the teammates is worth 1.5. Sniper rifle. All final blows by you and a teammate are worth 2%. One sniper rifle kill gives you 2 points. Sword. When you get a final blow, it is worth 12.5%. But when a teammate gets a kill, it's worth 6%, approximately. This reward is a chess piece. Yay!
Now you're sounding exasperated by the end of that. You need to sound more upbeat.
Because
you're going to have to re-record all of that again.
Reiterating. Are you serious?
No. If you've made it through that entire explanation, you also receive your chess piece. Contact Night Demon for your free complimentary chess piece.
Recommended weapons. Black Talon exotic sword has projectiles for sword kills. Suros Regime exotic auto rifle. Suros Regime exotic auto rifle with spinning up. Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I see,
Also
I
a good
see.
time to work on,
I don't know why.
work on or try to get your
I was
catalyst
thinking of
for
the
it.
sweet business with the spinning up thing, but okay, yeah, I remember now. Okay, so Suros Regime Exotic Auto Rifle with spinning up. Aaron's Hill and Wizened Rebuke Fusion Rifles. Beloved, Bite of the Fox, Alone as a God, and Twilight Oath Sniper Rifles. Step 5. Earn points by completing Iron Banner matches. Win streaks are worth significantly more points. Complete Iron Banner matches. Each match gives you 2%, win or lose, so in total it takes 50 matches to complete this step. Noted, win streaks greatly increase percentage gain. Wait, what? Reward is a helmet! There is a big exploit to finish step 5 without playing any more Iron Banner. This is done by having a win streak of 2 or more wins. Once you collect the final piece of the quest from Lord Saladhead, you can go to orbit, then return to the tower, and as soon as you do this, change your character and jump right back in on the same character and repeat. This will trick the game into thinking that you are actually completing matches, and after a few times, this step will complete. Yay! That's actually not bad. I know I'm making fun of it in like the Sesame Street kind of Elmo thing, but that's actually pretty good. I like that. Now,
I think I might speed up that whole thing.
oh my
and
god,
make
that
you
would
sound
be funny.
squeaky.
No, now if Bungie punishes you for that exploit, oof. Okay.
Cheese Forever has a link that we will post in the show notes for that video if you're not sure of how Respawn put that.
Right. I'm not even sure of how I put that, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, so check the links, check them out, yada yada yada. I just lost my place. There we go.
Okay. So all armor is +3 to your current max light. So if you are still below 750, each armor piece that you get from doing the different quest steps will give you +3 on your light. When you receive the armor pieces, they will drop with random rolls, and after receiving these items, they drop randomly in the playlist. You can save bounties until you've completed all the steps so that you can get more armor to drop, because the bounties are separate in the Iron Banner, and once you turn those in, you will get a specific item at whatever light you are or higher. The quest is character based and not account based, so you have to do this on each character that you've got. They can roll with enhanced perks on the armor, which is what a lot of people are looking for these days, and that just means that you're going to kind of get enhanced reloaders, enhanced
Bow targeting, auto rifle targeting, fusion rifle targeting, etc.
Yeah, first you have,
advanced
it'll make it
flinch,
better.
enhanced flinch, yeah. And you'll have to complete each step on each of your characters. And Scoutbird has a forum post for where he goes through all the Iron Banner numbers that Respawn ran through really, really quickly that time.
And this is also if you're looking for your Swarm of the Raven for your raid damage, the Swarm of the Raven will be back in the loot pool as well. So if you've got Iron Banner tokens you're holding into, go for your Swarm of the Raven.
You're jumping ahead.
Literally the next section. I read ahead. It's literally the next section.
And what I'm looking for, so as a callback to episode 22, where we spotlighted Destiny Fun Places video where he considers a god roll of the Ganora's Axe, here's a reminder to say that you want the shotgun with the Swashbuckler perk, which gives you a 5x damage to the shotgun or melee punch after melee kill. So if you get a kill, it gives you a 5x stack. If you punch people, it gives you 1 stack up to 5. You then have a gun that is just absolutely ridiculous with damage. And he explains that this gun is perfect for a Titan wearing Syntheseps, the exotic gauntlets, because you can jump in, punch. You've basically given your shotgun ridiculous amounts of damage, and I'm pretty sure you can one-shot most Guardians. Again,
by the way, you don't have to punch. You can just punch one time.
Oh, right. Yeah, I got that backwards.
But this isn't restricted to just Titans punching.
Right.
Miss 5000 Watts has put out a video this week where she's got the idea from Destiny Fun Place with his swashbuckler build, but this time she's done a build for her hunter. So again, she has the Ganora's Axe with the perk Swashbuckler and pairs it with the exotic gauntlet Liar's Handshake. So the exotic's main perk is using your arc ability melee or being hit by a melee attack will allow you to follow up with an extremely powerful melee counterpunch that will also heal you. And she shows you her build and gameplay. So if you're not a Titan, you're a hunter like, yeah.
Did you just say a hunter like, yeah?
So if you're, so you're telling me a hunter can live through a melee attack? Because I've been led to believe hunters can't live through melee attacks. Then once you get melee,
We can't,
you're
that's not a
dead,
thing.
and then it doesn't matter what you do after that.
You
No,
are.
it's only respawns hunters all
Okay, so-
squishy.
No.
Everybody else
Sorry,
that has
let's
a hunter,
be
the harder your
specific.
stock of hunters.
A hunter can't live through a Titan melee attack
yes, they can.
or a ranged warlock. Hey, I've got video
One of these
evidence that
days.
shows me
One of these
shotting
days.
literally everything I come across. Okay.
We'll have links to all of these.
Yeah. Also in the links this week is a video from Fallout Plays regarding the God Roll Swarm of the Raven, which is what Parody was referring to, which is the grenade launch you can get from Iron Banner.
Mm-hmm.
We did feature this a couple of weeks ago when Iron Banner was up, so
Mm-hmm.
to refamiliarize yourselves with it, we'll put the link again in the show notes. This is the specific grenade launcher that everybody's looking for with spike grenades. So this is really useful in the Crown of Sorrow and the Last Wish raids on the final bosses.
So, stupid question time. Is Spike Grenade is the perk you're like Spike Grenade is what makes this particularly good against the raid bosses, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So Spike Grenades fired from this weapon do increased damage on direct hits, and it also gives you 10x to or 10 a plus 10 to your stability. So again, I ran through Leviathan with Respawn and some folks last night, and I don't have this. I have some Swarm of the Ravens, but they're not the right rolls. I did find the Ore Wings Maul, which is also an Iron Banner drop in the power weapon slot. In the power weapon slot will also. I'm sorry. Let me try this again. Ore Wings Maul is in a grenade launcher that drops in the energy weapon slot. They can also roll with spike grenades. So I went into Dim and I just typed in spike to see if I had spike grenades on anything in the game. So that can roll with it. And also through Fire and Flood, the arc grenade launcher in the power slot can also drop with spike grenades. So if you don't have the Swarm of the Raven, spike grenades can be on other things too. And I know it may not be the best roll of the game, but it's at least better than nothing if you don't have an outbreak or don't have, something else
I
you
use
need.
the Fire and Flood. I think it's just fine. Yeah, I don't see any.
Yeah,
downside.
like I said, I've raided. Like I told you guys last night, that was the first raid I had completed since like year 1 of Destiny. So again,
Right, but also
but
conversely,
at least
if you don't have
out
any
there
of
on
those,
things.
if you don't have any of those, and you do have a prospector, the prospector is bonkers good for damage too. So that's another option.
Yeah, but as we pointed out a couple of weeks back with the Guardian Hub Pud guys that were on with us, that you were so wrong about the damage from that
Negative.
compared to the spike grenades.
Negative.
Yep, there's been graphs and charts.
And I was just saying
people
because it's
told
Iron Banner week, I was trying to focus on things you could get from the Iron Banner. But anyway,
Yes. So you want the Ganora's Axe, you want the Swarm of the Raven, you want the Ore Wings Maul, you want all the good things. But something that isn't in Iron Banner this week that True Vanguard has picked up on is he's had a look back through his collection and found the faction rally weapon from New Monarchy, the Giant 7. It's an energy pulse rifle. And he said that it was a very good pulse rifle before Forsaken, and he's pulled it back out of his collection, and he goes over in gameplay and shows you in the current sandbox and proves that it can still compete. So if this is something that you managed to get whilst, New Monarchy was around in Destiny 2, maybe something worth pulling back out your vault and giving it a try. And I'll link that in the show notes. Respawn, do you want to take us through DPJ? You love DPJ, don't you?
I love DPJ. I have no idea what that is, but yeah, I'll read it.
Okay.
There's
Destiny
Aston
Party
Cross,
Jams?
she's there we go. DPJ. Wait. DPJ. DPJ has a video on the auto rifle, the Valkyrin, which says it can be used as a replacement for the pinnacle weapon for the Crucible, the Recluse. On his roll of the weapon, it has outlaw and kill clip, and this weapon can be acquired via the gunsmith for weapon parts. Ta-da!
interesting because I've had those drop, but I've never enjoyed them very much. I'll have to take a look at those.
Well,
Yeah,
back before we had the random rolls, they weren't. I mean, they were good, but now that you have random rolls, you can get some really, really good rolls on.
Yeah, that would do it. Yeah, I was because I've broken down tons of Alkadines because I never felt they hit hard enough for an auto rifle slot. But
It's the same archetype as the blue weapon, the Sand Wasp,
Yeah.
which is a really good
the Sound
auto
Wasp,
rifle.
Yes.
I believe it's a 750 RPM. It's an energy weapon, but again, with the Recluse being 900 RPM, the Valkadins and the Sand Wasps and those kind of archetypes will hit harder than the 900 versions of the submachine guns. So
Yeah, that's what I was
it's
going
worth
to
a
say.
look at.
I mean, looking at it as an auto rifle, you're wrong. You should be
Versus-
looking at it as a submachine gun with more range.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'd
very
take
good. It's one of those really fast firing auto rifles.
Yeah.
It's worth taking a look at, or having a look at that kind of archetype, because you might have that kind of archetype in your collections, because there are a couple that sitting in collections. I mean, the Valkyrie should be in your collection. So if you pull it out and have a try with it, and it's something that you like on that fixed roll, maybe then, burn your weapon parts over at the gunsmith and see if you can get a better roll on it. Like
what was
DPJ
his roll?
has.
It was outlaw and what?
Kill clip.
Outlaw and kill clip.
Can that roll? Hold on. I wonder if that can roll. Go ahead and ignore me. I just want to see if it can roll like Rampage.
Okay. So Cheese Forever has a guide to getting the perfect roll on silver purchases from the Eververse and a refund bug. So apparently you can use the third-party apps like Dim to check the rolls that you have in items that are purchased before you open the bundle. So in his video, he details you can go into Dim and look at the item. If you want that specific roll on that thing, then you can open it. If you don't, get your silver refunded to you, buy it again and see what drop you then get. But again, there is a bug to certain parts of it, and he'll go over that in his video.
Astacross has a forged material farming guide because it's forged material farming season as we all hunt the bad juju catalyst and emote. So like the video from Cheese Forever we highlighted last week with regards to going AFK in the forge with a low-level guardian to gather materials, this in turn could be used to swap with the spider for the tribute haul. Astacross explains in his video that if you keep the resources and turn them into the planet vendors, then you get a weapon or armor to dismantle, this in turn will give you 4 more legendary shards per item, weapon parts, and possibly a masterwork in exchange for your cores. So instead of just taking the materials right to Spider, take the materials to the planet you're on, buy things, break them down, get more materials that way. And we'll have a link to that video. Fallout Plays also has a very, very good video detailing the counterbalance mods and how you all think they work and you're all wrong. Because we all watched it this week and we were all wrong. And he breaks out how they affect the weapon in D2, new information about how counterbalance works, what the recoil numbers are. You're going to need a third-party app of some sort to see the recoil numbers on your weapon. It's not visible in-game. And so you think, if I have a weapon with a higher recoil numbers better, lower recoils worse, not exactly the same thing. It's all about 5s and 0s. Watch the video and your mind will be blown, and you too will understand that sometimes that counterbalance mod of 15 may help or may hinder the actual recoil of your weapon, depending where it's sitting. It's one of the few videos I've watched and just gone, oh, okay, we were wrong, just very wrong.
So wrong. So very, very wrong. Also, kind of a backtrack a little bit. The Valkyrie can actually roll with Rampage. So you can get a Rampage Outlaw roll on that thing, which would be very, very dirty.
It would be filthy. And Astrakos also has a new video build this week using the Bad Juju exotic pulse rifle. So if you pick that up, video 1 is for our Warlock friends using the exotic boots, the Geomag stabilizers with the Chaos Reach super. When it's almost full, you can sprint to top off your super, damaging enemies with a Chaos Reach extends its duration. He uses this exotic with 5 super mods and the Middle Tree Stormcaller so he can generate extra super energy back on a kill from the Ionic Trace perk. With this build, he can get 8 to 10 supers per game. So this build is not only for PvP. It's good for PvP and PvE.
It's good for everything.
Yeah. I think he was saying, because this was the one I watched. One of the ones I watched. That 8 to 10 supers per game was in a PvP match, not mayhem, not anything crazy, but just a regular, quick play PvP match. 8 to 10 supers in that game.
Yeah,
and then the way he uses it is that he takes down 1 player at a time, or 2 players if they're in a certain area. He'll take out the 2 players with his super and stop it so that he doesn't use all the super. So that's how he's getting the 8 to 10. But he's able to regenerate them a lot faster with all the mods and all the weapons that he's using. So it's a really, really good build, isn't it?
And it's going to be a good build this week for Iron Banner control, because you're going to have players grouping up in those control zones as they're working on their bounties for the Iron Banner stuff. There's a perfect time to take that Chaos Reach and melt a couple of people in groups at a time, and then, pull it back so you still have some super left for the next time.
Yep. Also for the hunters, kind of the same thing, but you want to use the Celestial Nighthawk and Bottom Tree Golden Gun. The reason for this, and it does work in PvP, because if you get a kill with the Celestial Nighthawk, you actually get 30% of your super back, which gives you a hell of a lot towards your next super, right? So if you use Bottom Tree Golden Gun, Celestial Nighthawk, Bad Juju, you can get quite a few supers in a PvP match, even more supers in a PvE element. So that's
because you're utilizing that perk, isn't it? Practice makes perfect, which increases your super recharge rate, which lasts for 1.5 seconds, and it stacks up to 3 times. And with the bad juju, it's got quite a good lock on for heads, isn't it? And if you're constantly getting headshots, you're constantly proccing that practice makes perfect, which then generates your super faster with both the perk on the gun and the actual gunslinger. So it's a win-win situation.
You're actually double dipping on that super regen when you get headshots.
I mean, he says it's good for PvE, but it's going to be good in PvP as well.
Yes, I say for the same thing, right? Because the celestial, when you kill something with the golden gun, which you can one-shot a guardian, they actually detonate. Some people don't know this. They'll detonate and damage everybody around them, and that damage could kill other guardians too.
Yep. So. And again, Iron Banner Crucible, it's all control, so you're going to have people in groups more often than not. So that's a good place to use it. And Astrocos has one final video for a PvP Warlock build. This one was based on the weapon having Demolitionist, which gives you grenade energy on weapon kills, as well as activating your grenade ability reloads the weapon from reserves. So what you're going to do is you're going to use the Exotic Gauntlet Controverse Hold, which resists incoming damage while charging your Void Grenade with the Chaos Accelerant, Free the Void, or Handheld Supernova. Charged Void Grenade returns a random amount of grenade energy on hit. He used the Middle Tree Voidwalker for the Nova Warp Super, so he can use the perk Handheld Supernova, which converts your grenade to a short-range Void Blast. And he does this with 5 grenade mods. So you're basically just spamming your grenade all day, every day, all the grenades. Because Shaq says you should throw more grenades. You should be throwing grenades right now.
What I'm surprised I don't see here is Ursa Furiosa, the bear gauntlets for the Titans.
They nerfed
right?
those. Those aren't cool anymore. No, those have been nerfed.
Yeah, but even with the nerf, would that not work well with the bad juju? You get some of your super back and the juju tops it off.
Well, you see, the thing is that nobody's made a video on that, so I can't include a video on that.
We don't have to include a video. If it's something that you know would work, you can say it. I don't. That's why I'm asking the two Titans.
No, because we haven't done anything.
It does and doesn't. It's no longer as effective. I don't know. It's better than nothing, but it's honestly the amount of super you get back and the odds of getting shot out of it, especially in PvE, is ridiculous because you can take one step forward and stumble on, the dead thrall body under your feet and drop that shield and you're dead. Or in PvP, someone jumps around you, above you, snipes you from the side or the back, and you're dead. So
hold on.
It's really,
let me back up for a second. What do you mean stumble? How do you stumble out of a super thing?
Because if you're sitting there and you're holding that shield up and you move forward and something in the game causes your character to drop that shield, which I don't know what it is, but you'll have the shield up. You'll be standing there.
So you hold the button down for the shield. I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Left.
So if you're holding the button down, even though you're holding it, you'll still drop your shield.
Yes.
Sometimes it just glitches out and you kind of drop the shield. There's no repair.
Yeah. You hold left trigger to keep your shield up, and I don't know what the mechanic is because you can be standing still. It's more when you're moving. So I almost wonder if sometimes you might proc that run ever so slightly and it drops the shield, but you can be standing still, be tanking, a chaos reach and an ogre eyeball blast something. Then all of a sudden you'll just be dead, and you're like, well, I had a shield. I've got half my super left, and I'm dead. Yeah. So it's like you just drop the shield out of nowhere, and I don't know. It's a bug in the game or something. I don't know what it is that causes it. Or maybe with these things, it's you take a little bit of damage from the top or the side or something around that shield. Even with the big banner shield up, you just drop it and then you're dead. And then you get no super back at all. So it's hit and miss.
So there's no synergy for Titans with the bad juju like there is for Warlocks and Hunters?
There is. Yeah, no, there absolutely is. But I'm saying the Ursas don't give you as much. It's really hit and miss. Yeah, you still get the bad juju juice, but the Ursas hit and miss.
So as a Titan, how would you pair your bad juju with a subclass and an exotic?
Possibly One-Eyed Mask.
Oh. Yeah, One-Eyed Mask would be. One-Eyed Mask would be good. It really even just the mid-tree Sentinel and the Syntheseps just for those detonators. Again, in PvE, PvP.
I think most of the exotics that you have for Titans are mainly based around your subclass and enhancing your subclasses. You'll find like you've got a chest piece that you can throw out more, grenades faster, or you've got double grenades, or your helmets will give you like punching abilities, or you've got gauntlets that give you punching abilities. It's all built around your abilities rather than anything to help like
Well,
with
I
weapon
get
gameplay.
that, but I haven't memorized all your exotics. But I know that there's one that gives you ammo to a rifle. There's the other one which gives you infinite ammo as long as you have two. Well, not infinite ammo, but never reloading as long as you have 2 submachine guns. You don't have anything for like pulse rifles or that would synergize better with
No.
Yeah, but yeah. There's nothing that really works particularly well with the bad juju itself. Just things you can sort of get some super back with.
Yeah.
If we're wrong, if we're being bad titans and missing something, by all means, let us. Yeah, I'm drawing a blank on anything particularly synergistic with it.
Also, saying that about letting us know, we've had nobody this week with a clan finder. So, again, if anybody's looking for a clan or you have a clan, get in contact with us and we will advertise you on the show.
Or if you don't want people to join your clan, get in touch with us and we'll still tell them to join your clan because we're good like that. And if not, join ours or the Guardian Hub clan. They're building one up across all 3 platforms. Or join Frozen, and you can maybe raid with us, and then someone will jump in front of you with a rocket launcher and kill you in a raid.
Oh, dude, you weren't here. That was so freak. Okay, so check it out. Last night, some dude's using a rocket launcher, and he's like, "Oh my god, you jumped in front of me!" And I was like, "Okay."
Respawn and I were
he wasn't talking to me.
No,
he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to somebody else.
We're both quick to warn him. You're with 3 Frozen members in this raid, sir. That is our absolute move. We're gonna put a bubble in front of you.
That's your finishing move, isn't it?
Absolutely. We're gonna put a banner shield up the wrong way in front of your face, like I blocked the one guy's grenade with the banner shield. Yeah. We will do something to screw you up. That is the Frozen clan move right there.
Yeah, you don't use explosives in this clan. You don't use explosives if you're in a fire team with this clan. You don't use explosives. There you go.
No, machine guns are your friends. Bullets good, grenades bad.
Yeah, that was so funny though. I was like, dude, you have not 1 but 3 Frozen members in this party. Do not use rocket launchers if you value your life.
We do nothing if not live up to our reputation.
For real though, right? At least we're consistent.
If you're raiding with people, tell them you have a podcast and be like, if you can
I do.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And just say, if you can, as Respawn, you can say, if you can tolerate my voice this long, you should tolerate my voice longer by listening to the podcast. We had 2 or 3 people claim they were going to listen. I don't believe them at all, but they claim they were. So, hey, you never know.
They were kind enough to lie, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's fine.
You won't hurt his feelings if you're lying.
No, won't hurt mine either. Our feelings don't hurt. We will still continue to kill you with rocket launchers, but that's just how we roll. So,
thank you to all our new listeners, and thank you to all our existing listeners. If you have a friend that doesn't listen to the show, badger them until they do listen to the show.
Force it upon them.
I'd also like to give a shout out to Rage XXBoy 8976, Arkham Knight 891, Blood Craze, It's Chaotic, for helping me through the Crown of Sorrow raid. Those guys were really helpful.
I would like to give an unshout out to Respawn for not helping me through the raid last night, or anybody else just going, all right, guys, we know what to do. And then like 4 fails later, it's like, you remember about this? No. If we would have talked about that beforehand, maybe we would have failed less.
Why didn't you say that?
Because how am I supposed to remember what I don't remember? And it wasn't just me. It was
said,
all the other
hey,
things.
I've done this before. And we're like, okay, he's done this before.
Well, there you go. He said he's done it before. He didn't say, I remember what I did before.
And then I said, yeah, I did this.
Specific wording.
I said, yeah, I did this in year 1. And you were like, oh, so by before, you mean way before. Some things you remember, cross-shooting our friends in the Void Room. Didn't remember that off the top of my head.
Yeah, we only made that mistake 1 time.
I would have reminded you, Parody.
Yeah,
we did. After we died, we're like, what the fudge?
We did get
no,
through.
But before you go into that bit, we would have had a discussion on who's doing what.
Yeah,
we would have then gone over what your job role is.
We did. We just didn't mention the crossfire.
Obviously, you did.
If we could have done that before the Gauntlet Room, we would have been through that Gauntlet Room about 2 hours less time. Because that Gauntlet Room was a mess. Anyway.
Speaking of less time,
we're going to end the show and let you all get back to the things you're doing. Sitting in the heat, watching the rainfall, watching the cats and dogs living in harmony forever. Thank you for joining us this week. Your Titans have been, as always, Parody and Night Demon. You're a hunter with lots of opinions and lots of screaming as no one responds in real life. You can email the show at twotitansandahunter@hotmail.com. Hit us up on Twitter at twotitans_hunter. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram, send us likes, send us kittens, send us care packages, send us something. You can join the Frozen Clan or the Guardian Hub clan. Go look us up on Xbox Live. They're also on PC and PS4 if you're one of those people who don't play on Xbox. You can find the three of us on Xbox Live. You can watch the show on YouTube. You can listen to the show on Podcoin. You can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify. And really, if it's got a thing you can shove audio into, you can do that too. Or download it, put it on your iPod, use your FireWire cable, and connect it to your car and listen to it that way. I leave you trying to figure out how games work, trying to read competently. And until next week, say bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.